Welcome to Tabletop Cinema, where we bring together the worlds of filmmaking, tabletop role-playing, and video games. I'm your host Mikey, a freelance filmmaker, tabletop RPG game master, and variety streamer on Twitch. And today is the finale of our first playthrough of Pentiment. Or at least I think it'll be the finale. I keep jinxing myself whenever I say that we're almost done with the game. I don't know how long we have left, but we have made significant progress. We did make significant progress last session, and we are in the final act of the game. I still don't know how it's going to wrap up. So, let's find out. I'll have a lot to catch up on. It has been a while. Things kept getting in the way on our Thursday schedule, so we're quite delayed. Apologies for that, but I think we'll finally be able to close the book on Pentiment and move on to other visual novels. Izzy, how's it going? Welcome in. Perhaps you might catch the finale if you have not finished this game already. Not sure if you are interested in it, however. It's okay so far. Where's my controller? There we go. We finished one section already, so now that I've decided to how to depict Tassing's earliest history, I should decide how to paint Kearsaw's history. So now we're moving from the early history to Kearsaw's history. Okay. Mother Illuminata. Her letter mentioned that a Matthew Fosigny Sauce, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, used to be a brother in Kearsaw. Meowdy Zen, thank you for always being here. Happy lurking. Thank you so much. Matthew was also one of the brothers, but he's no longer brother Matthew, so maybe he left the order as well. I don't know. She said he knew a great deal about the Abbey's history. I should write to him and ask him what he remembers. Oh, and I have Esther's letter to answer too. Esther was the child who was born during the revolution. Her parents are from Prague, and they were friends of the book of our character's father. And they were passing through very bad timing, but miracle happened. Esther was born, safe and sound. Family's happy in Prague right now. Only VN you've really gotten into is 13 Sentinels. Oh my god, thank you for reminding me about that. I totally forgot. Holy crap. I still have to finish 13 Sentinels. I'm so sorry. How could I forget that? Ah, man. Curse of the backlog. And I was almost done with it too. But since it's been so long since I played 13 Sentinels, I probably won't be able to follow it anymore. Ugh, man. But yeah, I should probably finish 13 Sentinels. I have not been streaming 13 Sentinels. I've been playing it off stream. I actually wish I did stream it. It's a very good game, but I'll just probably finish it when I can. Before I write, I should read that old book Brigitte gave me. So many things. Maybe I'll learn something pertinent for the murals. I don't even remember what we're doing anymore. Okay, we finalized the plans, 15th hour. Now that I've decided how to portray Tassing's early history, I need to think about how to represent our early Christian history. Mother Illuminata suggested I should write to Matthew Fosigny So. He was... How do I turn a page again? Trigger. He was Kearsaw's sacrist and maybe a good source of information. So it's when church came and revised some of the history to fit their narrative. This should be interesting. Okay, we won't sleep yet. Right. Church and Druckers. Where are we supposed to read the book? Anyway, our father... Someone attempted to murder our father. He's not well. His time is short. And we want to finish the mural before he passes. Maybe reading the book is tied to writing the letters. Okay, right. Alright, where to begin? Right, okay, the old book. It was the Baron's before Martin stole it. Martin Bauer, who died, and a body double replaced him. It was a whole, like, a telenovela thing. I can't make much out of it. Right, okay, this book is significant because it contains supposedly the true history of Tassing, I think. And the mastermind of all these murders over the generation had Martin Bauer steal the book because, as far as we can tell, the motive of this thread puller, as Master Maller called them, as I really don't know who it is. The motive seems to be that to get rid of disruptive elements in the town. I don't know, to maintain a certain status quo. I don't know what the thread puller really wants, but they're responsible for a few murders in this town, so can't have that. So why is this book so important? I can't make much out of it. The Latin is much harder than I'm used to. The book isn't in great shape either, since it's been sitting in a farmer's house for so long. Let's see. Oh, here's a section about the various dedications erected in the town. That might be easier to read. Ergo simulacrum in agre ut Mars nostrum operem conspiciat. Mars is the Roman god of war and agriculture. Mars represents civilization and peace through military might. This one seems like a dedication to Mars to bless a field. Sedit Diana locos catoricionos ipsa. Lorem ipsum. Diana. The virgin Roman goddess of the hunt and the wilderness, Diana is also associated with the fertility, the moon, and the underworld. It's like, your purviews, Diana. This one talks about Diana wetting herself, bathing in a spring, maybe. Oremum ut defendat oppidum. Oh, this one isn't as hard. Let us pray so that he or she really may defend the town. None of this really makes any sense. Well, is this the Historia Taciae? Maybe someone with better Latin than me could help me read it. The book is so big, though. It would be a lot of work. We have a doctor and an inventor, right? I could ask Sister Gertrude or Baltas. Oh, let's talk to Gertrude. Gertrude's the one who's been telling us stories when we were growing up. Werner, too. Yeah, thinking of him as well. He's much better at Latin than anyone else in town. Maybe... No, but considering our relationship with Gertrude, Magdalene's and her relationship with Gertrude, she's closer to Gertrude, but she understands that Werner might be the best choice. So, we do want a very accurate account, so let's approach him. Maybe even Father Thomas. Even though Dad warned me not to bother him with secular books. Chances are slim they could help, but it might be worth asking about. I should finish writing my letters first. Mother Luminata told me that Matthew knows some of the Abbey's early history. He's the Archdeacon of Sion. Once a free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire, Sion became the capital of Valais when the canton joined the Swiss Confederacy following the Swabian War in 1499. I should write to him before the snows come. I'll write to Esther too. That's a lot. Let's do it. The mail service is surprisingly fast here. I don't know how this affects the story. Most revered Matthew Fosigny-So, formerly of Kierso Abbey. Let's address him by his current title, Archdeacon of Sion. My name is Magdalene Druckerin. I'm the daughter of Tassing's town printer, Klaus. My father and I are creating a mural for Tassing's Rathaus. As a refresher, a Rathaus is a community hall where people meet typically a council that governs day-to-day affairs under the authority of a lord. We want to show the history of the town and the abbey. Mother Illuminata told me that you might be the best person to ask about Kearsaw's early history. I heard that you were the sacristan at Kearsaw and knew a great deal about the abbey's early history. Let's name drop Mother Illuminata. I understand you're a busy man, but we would be most appreciative of any information you could give us. If you know of any other places where we might learn about the Abbey's history, we would appreciate it. I know it may be a small comfort, but there are many in Tassing who regret what happened during the revolt. Should we bring that up? No, let's move on. Thank you for your help and consideration. Thank you for your help. That sounded like it went better with the previous... anyway. Magdalene. Alright, next is Esther. Esther, please forgive me for not writing sooner. Esther's our childhood friend, so I guess casual. Christ, I don't even know where to begin. The whole world seems to be crumbling around me. Even as my last letter was en route to you, Dad was attacked in the workshop in the middle of the night. He survived, thank God, but his injuries are terrible. I worry about him. He's so dizzy he can't get out of bed. Some days his eyes become foggy and his memory fails him. Dr. Stoll said that he's not going to recover, that it's only a matter of time before he succumbs to the injury. Our background, I think this is an insightful background. He's going to do the best he can to make things comfortable for Dad. I hope he's here to help. I'm glad he's here to help. I don't want to believe it, but it's hard to argue with Dad's condition. I have no idea who could have wanted to attack my father, or why. I found a note by him, too. All it said was, stop. So he tried, the thread puller tried to kill him because he wanted to paint the true history, quote unquote, of Kearsaw Abbey, of Tassing, like unfiltered, paint the revolt, all the death and all that. I guess he decided that people can't handle the truth. I don't know. So hence, stop. It wasn't from the shop, because the script was written in the most elaborate hand I've ever seen. No one in Tassing has such skill in script, as far as I know. For some reason, I'm predicting it's Maller who is the... Andreas Maller, who's the mastermind this whole time. I don't know how they're gonna explain that away. I just have a gut feeling that it's Andreas. I doubt it is, but I don't know. Maybe it's like, aha, plot twist. And anyway, I don't have the time to wonder about it. I've had my hands full running the workshop alone while tending to Dad. What's more, the town council intended to cancel the mural entirely. I had a hell of a time convincing them to let me paint it instead. They made a fuss about my being too young, not experienced enough, not strong enough to be in the scaffold. You know how it is. I suppose I shouldn't have expected any better of them. I can't wait to leave this place. I suppose I shouldn't have expected any better of them. Working on the mural has become a welcome distraction from the naysayers in my chores. And worrying about Dad. Otts has been coming over, under the pretense of helping me prepare my paints too. It's sweet and I'm glad for the company. He makes the days easier. I wish he'd stop. He's not subtle and his flirting is annoying. Should we keep up with this? Are we role-playing as Magdalene really having feelings for him? I don't know. I wish he'd stop. He's not subtle and his flirting is annoying. He hasn't grown on us yet. And maybe this contributes to whether or not we end up with aughts in the epilogue. I don't know. I'd like to have the whole mural finished by Christmas if I can. I just want to finish it in time for Dad to see it. It would mean so much to him. If Dr. Stoltz is right, I don't know how long I'll have. I hope you're faring better than we are here. All my love, Magda. Okay, that's all the letters. November 6th. It is 8 p.m. a.m. p.m. Translation trouble, Historia Tassier. Right, we have to bring the book to Stoltz. I should write back to Esther to let her know all of the things that have been happening here. The letters are done. I should go to bed. I hope I hear back from Matthew soon. I was only able to... It is the Historia Tassier, the book that is stolen. A lot of controversy surrounding this, and I guess people willing to murder to keep it hidden and secret. I was only able to read a little bit of the Historia Tassier. The Latin is difficult and the book is in bad condition after sitting in a peasant's drawer for so long. From what I could read, the book talks about various monuments that were made to the Roman gods around town. I should ask around town for help translating the Latin. Sister Gertrude, Baltas, Dr. Stolz, and even Father Thomas may be able to read it for me. Okay. Let's go to bed. I wonder if Threppler's gonna try to kill us. I mean, we're not stopping. We are pushing through with the mural after all. So are the hours... Well, what's the middle one? The days? That's a lot of... Whoa. November 19, 20 already? What? Oh, okay. That's what I didn't pay attention to. I thought the Reichspostman was like... I thought the mail service was traveling at light speed. No, there's literal days passing. We're just skipping days. Mr. Struckerin, a few more letters for you. How long did that take? Like 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Well done, Reichspostman. Snail mail. Sorry, let me just double check my audio settings. The microphone gain seems to be quite low. Okay, we're fine. Take care. Thank you, sir. Safe travels. The first letter is from Reverend Matthew. Oh, I'm so happy. They're living together now. Mistress Druckerin, I was not acquainted with your family during my years at Kearsaw. Even so, I remember your father was one of the townsfolk who prevented the peasantry from burning us alive. I am not overly inclined to assist the people of Tassing in their endeavors to catalogue the origins of the abbey they destroyed. However, it was a long time ago. In the interest of posterity and Christian charity, I will tell you what I recall. Some time after the Romans left, Christians settled in the region and built Kearsaw Abbey on the ruins of our fortress. The abbey was founded by a noblewoman of the Kearsaw family. She was both its patron and its first abbess. Perhaps 2 centuries ago, Kearsaw changed to being run by an abbot. I do not know the reason, but many other double monasteries did likewise around the same time. It may have been done out of fear of being shut down, as double monasteries were frowned upon by the Pope. Sadly, that is the extent of my knowledge. Your neighbors put any other records about the abbey to the torch. So much history lost. Sic arsit historia quiersis? May history... sic is like the thing you put when it's not your error, right? Sic arsit historia Kiersis. Thus burned the history of Kiersaw. Oh. While we cannot change the past, I have heard that Sisters of the Poor Clares have formed a new chapter at the Abbey. Yes, the Poor Clares, they are an order of contemplative nuns founded by Saints Clare and Francis of Assisi. As the name suggests, the Poor Clares are devoted to extreme poverty. They subsist purely on the donation of alms. I can only hope that the love of apostolic poverty has not driven them to impoverish the shrine of Saint Moritz. Assuming they have not consigned the contents of Kirsaw's former occupants to a bonfire, you may find something there. Oh, okay. Right, the shrine of Saint Moritz. I hope this has been some help to you and yours. May God keep and protect you. The Most Reverend Matthew Fossosini, Archdeacon of Sion. So he's still in the church. He's Archdeacon now, and he is with his lover. I'm happy for them. Another reply from Esther. Please, Esther, help me with my woes. Oh, Magdalene, I am terribly sorry to hear about your father. My parents send the deepest condolences. If we can provide you anything from Prague, you need only send word. I know we are further away than is easy to travel, but I will see that we can do what Hashem allows. So they're Jewish, literally the name in Hebrew. This is a way to refer to God indirectly in informal conversation or writing. Oh, okay. What does it mean again? Literally, the name. Father says that he remembers no one who would want to harm your father. Yet, the night I was born, he remembers great strife in town. Perhaps there is old blood over depicting the night of the revolt. That is all he could suggest. We pray for you and your father every day in our offerings. Hashem will make all things right in time. He will exact justice on the culprit. I wish. I'm encouraged to hear that the town council let you continue the mural at all. The guilds here would protect your right to complete a job, especially once a contract has been reached. You give the men of council too much grace. Why should you be forced to settle for their old ways of thinking? We live in a new age. An age where art and science have come together. An age when all may read the works of the great sages in their own language. Truly, when your father recovers, I urge you to come visit me in Prague. But I am glad you found some joy in your work on the mural. We are all well here. Elisha has been carving a new set of wood cuttings, and Father has agreed to a new contract with the university. Banwa, hello there! We have just started. Hopefully we can finish the game today. I'm excited for Scarlet Hollow and other visual novels. Dead Space is also releasing in 3-ish hours. 2 hours and 45 minutes to be exact, I believe, in my time. I already have it pre-ordered. Dead Space, I think I'll probably stream Dead Space over the weekend. I really enjoyed the first game, even though I got too scared to finish it. So I'm adding it to the pile of shame. I added it to the pile of shame, and now, since we've conquered a lot of horror games we were too scared to play in the past, well, I'm definitely going to play the remake of Dead Space, and hearing nothing but great things about the remake. It's no Resident Evil 2 remake, but hey, Dead Space. Scarlet Hollow's still in episode 4, right? Had they released a new one recently since last we spoke? And again, hope you're doing well, Vanua. We glad to see you're still here. Thank you so much for being around. I appreciate your company and just seeing familiar faces. It's just wild to me. I found Simon. His family didn't move far away after all. Simon? He's planning on working as a doctor in the city once the expulsion order ends. His parents have been meeting with mother and father quite often now, so I hope that I will be sending good news in my next letter. With Hashem's help, please inform us of your father's condition in your next letter. Be well, Esther. That's all the letters I have for now. I should head home and check on Dad. Good morning, Magdalene. I am here, right on time. I hope you are well. Well enough. How's my dad? That is what we were about to discuss. How are you feeling, Klaus? His fever broke at dawn this morning. That's good news, right? All things in time. I still feel weak. The dizziness has not receded. My head continues to spin whenever I try to sit or stand up for too long. Occasionally, I am struck with sudden and severe headaches. The damage runs deeper than I first thought. They revealed some underlying stuff on Twitter, like about some hidden mechanics. Pulling back the curtain, I see. Well, I'm definitely not gonna read that. I don't want to be spoiled about the hidden stuff yet. I'll be surprised once I play it. Then we'll have a lot to discuss. Perhaps it'll inspire us to write something. The damage runs deeper than I first thought. Let me be honest here with both of you. I am worried. The circumstances are not unfolding for our benefit. Klaus, your health is not mending. Perhaps it is due to your age. Perhaps... We have passed numerous critical days with no change for the better. Meanwhile, the winter draws closer, and I am running low on medical supplies. With the roads into town likely snowed in, especially the pass, supply shipments will not arrive for months. Fudge! Have you asked Gertrude for help? I have. Truly? Things really must be dire. Or, well, these mean the spirit is the same. I'm surprised as well. I was worried he wouldn't put much stock in Gertrude's folk medicine, which really, really helps. Gertrude knows her shit. The roleplay part of the game is even more multifaceted than I thought. That is reassuring to hear. Especially given so many dialogue options, I'm pretty impressed at how, like here, we have what, 2 options, and it doesn't really affect anything, right? But aside from the flavor of your journey. But again, I was really satisfied with the first episode of Scarlet Hollow. I'm surprised, Werner. I didn't think you'd ever take her seriously. We have consulted on matters. She has seen head injuries before and remembers what Brother Florian told her. Brother Florian, the ex-mercenary. It has been a difficult year. Even with the patrols in Bavaria, many merchants have been struck by bandits. French troops have periodically raided the western holdings of our empires. Damn the French! We were just fighting the French in Pendragon. We're currently in the arc of the French kings feuding over each other, and also the French being mad at the British for... Why was that again? Why did we go to war with them? Anyway, we were there for our king, King Arthur, and we fought the French. Anyway. No way, Limbus companies? What? I already cut down on different gacha games. Okay, I gotta check this out. Oh my god, I haven't even played. I haven't even played much of Lobotomy Corp, and this is supposed to. Limbo's company is supposed to be directly related to set in the same world, right? Oh well, I'm pretty sure. I hope it's fun. We'll see. Thank you for the heads up. Limbus company. Please be available, Nari. Fudge. Okay, it's not appearing on um the Philippine store. Oh no, please don't tell me it's gonna be a wait for a Southeast Asia region. Why can't gacha companies just have a I really appreciate it when gacha games have a simultaneous global release. But as is a trend in many gacha games, they always make like a Southeast Asia version. Like they always have to pick up a they have to pick up and partner with a publisher in the region before they get the game here. I don't know why, but it sucks. So I really hope Limbus Company comes soon. It's not appearing on my. It's not appearing on my. I don't know if you can pre-order it on the Apple Store yet. I hope it's gonna have a global release. Even then, Southeast Asia is like its own thing. Like Korea, I noticed Korea has their own gacha servers. It's like Korea, Japan, China, sometimes like Arknights and all that. Southeast Asia, it's kind of like that. Like, and even like China, and then Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Macau are in a separate server also. But then I always note that Korea they have their own server. So maybe it's coming out in Korea first. Maybe we're not yet in global release. I'll have to double check that. Because for all we know, it's going to be in Korea for now. Will be today. All right, I'm going to check that out. Maybe it's Korean release. Hoping for a global or Southeast Asian region soon. But right now, I already cut down on most of the gacha games. It's so hard to keep up with them. I'm just like active in like 2 or 3 now. With the fall of Esztergom and Zekensfehervar to the Ottoman Turks, many trade routes from the east have been cut. That doesn't sound good. The pillage of Nice by Barbarossa's corsairs, and our losses in Italy. This is like this time period is so chaotic. Have also put us into a predicament in the south. As always, we suffer from the wars of others. How applicable that is today. The Empire struggles, but can't you gather supplies around here? What are we to do now? Okay, the Empire struggles, but can't you gather supplies around here? I will do what I can, but our options are limited. I wish I already had a copy of Vesalius's De Humani Corporis Fabrica. Wait, didn't we get a copy? Wait, was it burned? Shoot. In the meantime, Klaus, Magdalene, pray to God. I must take my leave. I will come by again next week. Damn, we need that book. I thank you, Dr. Stoltz. I thank you as well. I am only doing what I am meant to do for this town. Stay out of trouble, Magdalene. He worries too much. I'll be alright. Do you want anything to eat before I leave for the day? I'm working on the next section of the mural today. I'm not so hungry right now. I'll be alright. Your letter from the Archdeacon. Yes, that's right. What did you learn from him? Princess Connect. He's tossing into the server and found out that I'm now 1589 on the PvP board as opposed to 3 on previous one. What? Oh, well. PvP and gachas, they're just for whales. Honestly, it's like, how can they... I've never seen a successful... Or I've never seen a fair PvP system in gacha. But that sucks about the server switches. I got lucky with my Nikkei server. Like, I am shocked that I am still in the top 10 in a bunch of other, in a lot of the different categories. Still kind of up there, but the obvious whales are top. But to be able to be top 10, I'm just very lucky in my server. Some, they cannot even approach like the top 20 because there's just so many whales. Ah, okay, you pay a little bit. So maybe like a dolphin. What do they call it? There's like the whale, the dolphin, and then it's like something. But man, yeah, Princess Connect. I it was a lovely game. I just had a hard time keeping up with it with everything else. But it has a lot of heart. And as you said, the anime is supposed to be very funny. So I don't know. Maybe when I get back into watching anime, I'll try it out. She seems sad over what happened during the revolt. Oh, speaking of gacha anime, like I do want to experience the stories of something like Princess Connect, Arc Knights, and all that. So I'm glad that the animes are coming out, so I don't have to like get into the gacha. So I'm kind of excited for the Genshin anime, the Princess Connect anime is still there. Arc Knights anime. I don't know if it's any good. The Nier anime, not gacha, but the Nier Automata anime just released, right? Like a few episodes. And Blue Archive. I just found out also that they're going to be having an anime. So, heck yeah. They did a smart thing, by the way. The Princess Connect game. I'm pretty sure he still hates everyone in Tassing. He didn't have much to say. He was still upset about Abby's destruction. He seemed sad over what happened during the revolt, hesitant to tell me anything. He did say the abbey was founded by a noble woman after the Romans left. Everything else burned in the fire. How unfortunate. I know the brothers kept careful records of the monastery. There's so much lost in one night. The archdeacon did suggest the poor Clarice might have held on to some of the records from the convent. Yeah, well, the poor Clarice tried to recruit me. I should be able to learn more about Tassing's Christian history there. An excellent place to start, Magdalene. I have a feeling there's still a lot to do in this act. Sister Gertrude doesn't come out of the convent much, but I think it's worth asking her. Maybe Father Thomas knows something too. I should talk to him. If I recall correctly, the miller's wife has a long family history in Tassing. She may know something of the local history that others have forgotten. Elsa? I thought she moved here when she married. She doesn't have any relatives in town. Not anymore. Age, illness, and marriage took the rest of her family. But the Caviezels used to live all up and down this valley. Go talk to her, I will. Thanks, Dad. That's a lot! Maybe something remained in the Abbey's ruins. I should definitely see what's left. Magdalene, you be careful. Those ruins are dangerous. I'm going in there, Dad. You can't stop me. They can't be that dangerous. The ruins have been sitting there for almost 20 years. Oh, let's reassure him. I won't go far into them, Dad, just to take a look. Alright. Wear a scarf too. It's getting cold out now. I can feel it in my old bones. Don't worry, Dad. I'll see you tonight, alright? Alright. Good luck. Well, that's a lot of leads to chase. What do we do first? Let's talk to the miller's wife. I did not know her family was well connected here. They just unlocked the story for all players. You don't need to play several months for. Oh, right. I remember that update. No wonder why. I was wondering the last time I checked. Like, I don't remember unlocking this story. Well, that's nice. Yeah, I think that's a yeah. what I also appreciated with Princess Connect is that they separated the campaign progression with the story progression, in the sense that, well, like compared to Arc Knights, where they put the story in between the stages. And my problem with Arc Knights, I got tired of reading Arc Knights because it was overly verbose. It's like people talk too much. Like I'm used to wordy anime, I'm used to wordy movies. Well, holy crap! If you've seen the writing in Arc Knights, it's like it takes them literally 20 paragraphs to convey one idea. It's insane. So I got tired of reading Arc Knights. So that's why I'm just gonna watch the anime. But compared to like what they're doing now, like Princess Connect, like here's the story if you want to enjoy it. If you want to make some progress, you can do it on the side without, bogging yourself down by the story beats. So yeah, that is a good idea. Yes, there's a skip button. So I'm also taking a break from Arc Knights. It's really tough. Like I can't. It's too big brain for me. Honestly, when I realized that I needed to watch guides on YouTube to finish events, I just thought, well, I'm not even playing the game anymore. Like I'm just copying what's on the video. It's so hard, and it takes hours to get through the freaking story. So yes, there's a skip button, which is what I do. But when I used to play, but I will say, the localization's not bad. The writing, I don't know how the show is, but yeah, the writing's poetic. Like especially when they, you know, it's not that the writing's bad. It really is just overly verbose. Then you just have to be in the mood for it. But I can appreciate it once in a while, and it really is poetic. They have a way with their descriptions, because uh I guess translating from Chinese, in Mandarin, there's in few characters, you can say so much more. So, like, how do you convey something that can be said in 10 Chinese characters? The idea might need a paragraph to describe that one sentence in Mandarin. So, I think that's where the localization team was coming from. And rather than cut out a lot of the fluff, maybe I think they're really trying to extract every ounce of meaning from the Chinese text. That's what it feels like. Yes, they do that in Arc Knights too. You click skip, and then there's like a short summary. Magdalene, dear. Oh, Clara's helping out. Right! Hello, Clara. Thank you again for helping me after that. Her husband died during the revolt. I can't tell you how much more time this gives me to work on the mural. Oh, it's no trouble. You have your hands full as it is. I know Dad really enjoys the company while I'm working too. Ah, yes. He sleeps most of the day, but he's been in good spirits whenever I drop in on him. You two keep a clean house too. Well, aside from the workshop, but I can't blame you for that. I've left that to you to take care of. I don't want to damage any of your supplies. Thank you, Clara. Truly. You've been such a blessing to us both. Oh, you're such a dear, Magdalene. God bless you. Alright. Jesus Christ, what do I do? There's so many leads. Reverend Matthew suggested the poor Clarice may have preserved whatever was left in Curacao after the fire. I should talk to Sister Gertrude about visiting the convent and the abbey. Father Thomas is always talking about tassing saints. I should ask him more about them. Dad also suggested I talk to Elsa up at the mill. He said her family has lived in Tassing for generations. She might be able to tell me more about Tassing's history. I think I can kind of see why a lot of reviewers did not enjoy Act 3. I'm just waiting for it to get interesting again. Apostolic poverty. A Christian doctrine that calls for followers to live without owning personal property or accumulating money. While it was condemned by the Catholic Church as heretical, its defenders claim their practices are based on the lives of Christ and the apostles as described in scripture. Wasn't a vow of poverty always like part of the for a lot of sects? Live without owning personal property or accumulating money. Maybe I don't know if that's like another level of the vow of poverty. I don't know. Let's talk to Elsa. Oh, hey Magdalene, come to admire a well-chiseled craftsman at his best. Oh, where? I can't see one. Ouch! I suppose I stepped into that one. Have you come to see the repairs I've been doing then? What repairs? To tell the truth, it's not going as well as I'd hoped. What seems to be the issue? I assumed I'd hit a snag either when it came to the store, or the tools, or my lack of artistic skill. But it's more than that. It's like in my head. I can't see the right way. What? Besides, my dad wants me to help out on the farm more. I want to be there, but Grandpa taught me everything about the craft. He really wanted me to succeed, and I do enjoy the work. I think his grandfather was Lucky. As in Lucky the stonesmith. Stonemason. It's as if I can talk to the stone, you know? Not literally, but I can see how lines of tension flow through the rock. I understand how to form one thing from the other, how to create, make something that lasts. Grandma even offered to sponsor an apprenticeship under a master stonemason. Dad will support me either way, but I still feel like I'm pulled both directions at once, you know? I feel sorry for you, but like, whoa, suddenly you're like dumping this on me right now. If you can support your family and it makes you happy, it's the right choice. You'll have to figure out the answer for yourself. I can't help you. It's important to follow the guidance and needs of your elders. You can't live by the rules and demands of others. Agnes is offering Craft a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to apprentice under stonemason. I think you should go for it. His grandmother, right? With the right master, he could really make something of himself. But is that really what he needs? Or will people compare him to his father? No, I think that's inevitable. He has to find his own path, and it will help him if he apprentices under a stonemason. With the right master, he could really make something of himself. He should go. His family will be all right without him, right? Ooh, that's the problem. This is the compromise. If you can support your family and it makes you happy, it's the right choice. When you say it, it sounds the most reasonable way, doesn't it? But I still can't get away from the doubt. Wait. Did we encourage him to stay? Well, my bad. Wait. No one can fully escape their doubts, but don't let that stop you. God, I wish I had your confidence and fortitude. Did you learn all that from Klaus? Christ, this is hard. I don't know what to do. I think you should take the apprenticeship. Oh man! He's not even gonna listen to me. Because we insulted the boys in the comments. Because the boys are being assholes. What the heck? I wanted to help him with his future, but because I insulted him that one time, I guess my opinion counts for less. Consequences of my actions. This is why it pays to be kind to people. Look, help me help you, alright? Like, I'm sorry I insulted you, but please take that apprenticeship. Please. Whatever. If you don't believe me because I insulted you that one time, well, damn it. In principle, don't touch any guides. You did build pretty nice party. Definitely punching above its weights. Oh man, like yeah, I didn't. That's pretty cool. Level 180 party with level 106. The previous server you was at max level 156. That's insane. That's pretty good. I was just like, haha, she's cute. I'll put her in my party. I didn't really think about it. No surprise, I didn't get far. In PvP at least. Like, who did you end up using? I keep seeing. I'm pretty sure there's like a meta build because I kept seeing the same characters appear in the arena. I think one of them was like, what's her name? Maho, the one who has like fireworks. I don't know why, but she keeps killing my party so easily. It's better than staying in Tassing, right? Failure! I don't know. I like it here, and I have enough experience from Grandpa to keep going. Okay, you're fine if you feel like that, and you have your family here. So maybe this is the right choice. Good on you, Kraft. You come up with your own decisions, because I understand how difficult that is as well. Like, given the opportunity, if someone say, "Hey, would you like to study? Would you like to continue your studies in film abroad, or take an apprenticeship abroad, or something?" There is a time limit to these things sometimes, and timing's very important. Like, depending on where you are in life, I'm not totally tied down yet, but there are things here that I am tied down to. So it's not as easy to just say, "Hey, I'm gonna go off and out into the world and do an apprenticeship." I kind of feel like my time has that window slowly closing, which is kind of sad. But at the same time, I still need to create with what I have now because I am severely underutilizing my talents, I believe. Anyway, good job, Craft. Besides, if I'm gone, there'll be no one to look after the town's stone. Wow, take care of the town. It is a noble thing to do. The church's foundation is in serious condition, and who's to say there won't be another flood come spring? You are vital. Okay, he is vital. I don't think there's any other stonemason. Isn't she a healer buffer? I'm not. I forget. I just remember Maho is in the back lines, and then her skill animation is like fireworks. And whenever the fireworks explode, my party like just gets wiped. No, I think I should stay. I'll have to tell Grandma I've made up my mind soon. Well, thanks for listening to me, Magdalene. Uh, that's what friends are for. Hmm. Well, work beckons. Father Thomas, I my headcanon is Magdalene is friends with the boys. She'll call you out if you're being an asshole. Like that's what her relationship with the boys is, right? Boys being boys here in this time. Father Thomas asked me to reinforce the walls of the church. Yeah, go ahead. To be honest, I'd like to reuse stones from the ruins of the abbey, but Father Thomas forbids it, says it's unseemly. See, that is why I do respect the priest of this town. Not only is he very open-minded and considerate of other people and their well-being, he also does not want to tear down the ancient ruins that, the Roman history and turn it into foundation for the church. So, more plus points to Father Thomas. It's just, but like, yeah, practically, like, it's just quality stone going to waste. I don't get it, but I respect Father Thomas for understanding that that is part of Tassing's history. And I mean, it's unless it's a desperate situation, there is stone to use, but I guess the ruins can stay as a window into the Roman history and the past of this town. And I think Thomas appreciates that. He doesn't want to build the church upon that foundation, literally. So I respect them for that. He's being meek as he always is. A burnt ruin of an abbey is still a religious site. Oh, never mind. He's talking about the ruins of the abbey. Never mind. I totally misunderstood Thomas. I totally misunderstood that. Never mind. The burnt abbey is a different story. The ruins of the burnt abbey. I guess he still kind of respects it in the sense that it would be like getting parts from a corpse. I don't. Okay, that's a different story. That's a different story. Whatever. Maho is amazing. As a target healer, her ult plus restoring the ult counter. Oh, no wonder why. It's like whenever Maho activates on the other team, I just get wiped. And I finally pulled Maho at some point, but of course it takes so long to build characters in Princess Connect. But I finally got Maho, and she did help, but no wonder. Okay, obviously I don't guilty of not reading all their skills, but there's so many skills here. There's a lot of skill descriptions. But that's why. Okay, that's why Maho. I see her in every freaking team. Oh, thank you. I was just curious about it because for me, like my party just consists of the characters I find interesting. Like an event will sell me on a certain character, and I'll have that person on my team for a while. I don't really go hard on PvP after all. Magdalene. Okay, this is not really what I would say anymore because yeah, I understand like the Roman ruins, but if we apply the same logic of the Roman ruins, everything I just talked about, and you fit in Kearsarge Abbey as part of that history, maybe we would be hypocritical to like say, yeah, you can tear down that abbey, but not the Roman ruins. I don't know. History is complicated. A lot of people aren't even happy that the church was there to begin with. But maybe Magdalene, a burnt ruin of an abbey is still a religious site, as is the church. So it would only be like stones from one holy building to another. All right, stay well. Until later, Magdalene. Until then, craft. Okay, I will say something about the third act. There is way more dialogue. Like, every day, people have something new to say. Well, never mind. Not Agnes. But more people have more things to say. Unless you piss them off, like Apollo. But I think this is the progression of our act. We're halfway through. So... Hello, Magdalene. Can I help you? Hello, Dr. Stoltz. I have a book here and I can't read it very well. I was wondering if you could help me translate it. If you bring it after Christmas, I might be able to help. After Christmas? I have too much to do right now. I can't spare that much time. I guess. Oh, I understand. Sorry, Magdalene. Until later. Christmas is next month already. Until then. Right, we started this game before Christmas. So much happened since we started this game. Ciao, Magdalene. Hello, Nazio. How are you do? How are you? Ah, I am well. The winter is approaching quickly, no? What is it you say here? Percha pinching at your nose. Percha, again, is the pagan goddess of the Alps, associated with animals and spinning wool. She's still invoked by some Christians in Austria, Switzerland, Bavaria, and Swabia. So, winter is coming, you say percha pinching at your nose. That cold bite. You've caught on to our customs quickly? Yes, yes. Baltas is a good teacher. He has explained many of your funny Bavarian sayings to me. I must admit, they are rather charming, even if the language is a bit rough to my tongue. Will you be staying in Tassing long enough to learn more of our funny sayings? I should return to Genoa soon, but Baltas and I still have some business to conduct. Genoa? Where is that? It has taken longer than I anticipated to complete. His accounts are complex. I may be forced to remain a few more weeks. Dio. Who knows? It must be difficult for you to be so far from home for so long. Baltas has made me most welcome, so I'm in no particular rush. I only wish to return to Genoa before any heavy snowfall. Otherwise, my journey will take twice as long. Just Googling it really quickly. Genoa is the capital of the Italian region of Liguria and the sixth largest city in Italy. I'll let you get back to work then. Grazie, Magdalene. Until later. Ciao. Baltas, help me. Read the book. Hello, Baltas. Do you have a moment? Only one, I'm afraid. What can I do for you? I came across a book about the history of Tassing, and I was hoping you could help me read it. Oh no, not today. I am far too busy for that at the moment. Nazio and I have our hands full preparing the Christmas ale, you see. Right, they were working on the Christmas ale. Of course, sorry to bother you. I guess we're stuck with Gertrude then, and the sisters, Gladys. Not at all. Apologies, I couldn't be of more help. Well, that kind of narrows down our findings. Oh, thank you for sharing this. Okay, Maho, and there you go. See, Maho is in like in everyone's team. And I was like missing out on Maho the whole time. Like, I kept buying the shards off the store, and I didn't realize she was in the store. So too little too late. So Maho's the target healer and support. I want to see a New Year Suzume. Oh, Suzume. Okay. I'm used to her regular outfit. The one where she looks like, yeah, this one where, you know, like the archetype of klutzy ditzy healer. Okay. Mass healer with her ult support. So there's two healers. Reno's your damage dealer. Hey, I think I also have Reno on my team. And all these characters feature in the anime, right? Yeah, I always like Reno's design. And she's the one that considers... She keeps calling you like older brother, right? Why does she look different in this wiki? Is this the anime outfit? Anyway, that's cool. Reno. Pecorine. Oh, yeah. Pecorine is... I love how they give you Pecorine in the beginning, and she's still like one of the best units, supposedly, right? It's like... It's just... She finds a way in every team. She's also adorable. Even though she's super, you know, a typical anime fashion, a lot of their characters just really revolve around like one trait. Like they really magnify it. Like I think you know what I mean, right? If you're Pecorine, it's always about eating. And for different characters, they have their own like, you know, it's like one thing defines them. I guess it makes it easier with a huge roster of characters to write. But I wonder if they do get more development. All her skills are good for dealing damage and for self-heal. Kuka. Kuka. Who's that? Princess Connect. Kuka. Oh, I do have Kuka. I just got a bit... Like... she just came on a bit too strong. And I was like, whoa. Maybe not include her in the team. You can switch to Zume, New Year, and Chika or Misato. Okay, I do have... I use Chika. Yes, I do use Chika as my main healer. Probably shouldn't do that though. Or Misato. Mass heal ult is main thingy. Yeah, Chika, when I built up Chika, she really helped out. And Misato. No, I do not have Misato. Cool. So, I'm not that terrible. Because on my team, I have Reno, Pecorin, Chica, and Maho for PvP. And I do have Kuka in my roster, but not in my team. I should try that out. So you have good mileage with this. And did you fully build them up already? Do they all have their unique weapons and all that? Because I still get creamed in PvP. Thank you for that suggestion. So all I'm missing is like, so you, two healers. That might help. So maybe Maho, Chica, Reno, Pecorin, and who was I using instead of Kuka? I was using the girl who like invites you to become part of her crew because I love her personality. She's she wants an airship. She wants to go on adventures, and then she considers you like her first mate and stuff like that. Um, who's that again? Jita. I'm using Jita, and instead of Kuka, I'm using Jita. Oh no, it's a limited Pecorine. Sad. Which Pecorine is? Oh, sorry, Pecorine Princess. That's a limited one. How do you get her? Do you have to pull her? Okay, there are so many variants of Pecorine. There are like 5. Memory Shard and Divine Amulet Shop. Yeah, how do you get Princess variant? Pull for Her is out now as a 2-year anniversary thing. No! Whoa, no. Ah, typical gacha FOMO. Limited units. Damn it. Oh well. I will have to make do with my regular Pecorine. Well, that's why it's so hard to keep up with it. Like, whenever there are limited units, it makes you like, shoot, I gotta pull. Yeah, so I really had to cut down. Like right now I only have I'm only really active right now in Blue Archive, Nikkei, and Neural Cloud. I was very active, but I haven't been active. Pretty fun actually. Neural Cloud runs very smoothly as well. It's nice as a side game. Punishing Grey Raven, it's been a while. But I really want to. Oh, okay. Muimi, Ilya, Tomo. I think I have some of these characters. Alright, and Blue Archive. Blue Archive. There's a limited unit coming out, which is the summer variant of Hoshino, which I think everyone. We have like force. We have like what's the term they use? But since the global version is like 1 year behind like the Japanese version, we're able to, the spoilers ahead. Like Arc Knights, you already know what to pull for, so people like save up their currency because they know what's coming. Not foresight, but some clairvoyance, something like that. It's a gotcha thing in the community. But yeah, that's next. So I'm like saving up for the Hoshino. But then the rates are so shitty in Blue Archive. Princess Connect. Muimi. No, I don't have Muimi, but I like her. I like her hood. It's in tatters. What's her thing? I think I am Neneka. And Ilya. Wait, no, I don't have Ilya. Ilya's the vampire lady, right? Do I have her? I think I have Ilya Holiday. Tomo. I have Tomo. Yes, one of the knights with a guild member of Nightmare. I used her for a while. Neneka is top tier for PvE. Oh my god, yes, Neneka. Neneka was a surprise for me. Like, I got Neneka very early in my Princess Connect career. Because I had no. I had no 3-star unit. She was my first 3-star unit. Oh, one of my first 3-star units. And I decided to just do a one pull. Like, I knew nothing about Neneka. And like, I'll just scratch the itch, do a single pull. And then I got Neneka. And then like, oh, is she good? Like, I didn't know anything about the meta. And then when I put her in my team, it's like, holy shit, Neneka. Which is melting everything. That's who I forgot. Neneka is on my team. Even in the PvP, she got me pretty far on PvP. And then I didn't even know what are the limited units here? Like, is she meta? I don't know. I haven't researched on things. And when I started to research on like builds and the different characters, and then they were saying like, oh, Neneka, like, should have pulled for her, like, limited unit. I was like, holy crap. That's where all my gacha luck went in Princess Connect. After Neneka, I never had like as good luck. If I wanted a character, I always had to pity them. Like, that's how shitty my luck was. Actually, that's how it reminds me of Blue Archive as well. And I hate it. Like, Blue Archive and Princess Connect, the pity doesn't carry over. So, it's like if you're like more than halfway through the pity, it's that feeling like, god damn it, I'm gonna lose this at the end of the banner. May as well go the rest of the way and get that pity. It really is like a pitiful feeling. Literally a pitiful feeling. But in like Blue Archive and Princess Connect, I rarely got units before a pity. It's so bad. Neneka's like the only one, like a single pull, miracle happened, and then after that, alright, you're never gonna be lucky ever again. You pitied Neneka, yeah. I think some people in my guild, I just joined a random guild. They're also, a lot of them are also like, I had to pity Neneka. Oh, Malor was not able to convince her of the old ways. So the problem with this is that I don't know if she'll remember the old ways. I think some families have remembered more than others. Can you recall anything? No. I don't think those stories would be much use to you anyway. It's all folktales and pagan nonsense. God damn it, consequences of her actions. As Malor, we had an opportunity to encourage her to learn the old ways, learn about the old gods. But we failed to convince her as a child, and now it's biting us in the ass. No place for those things in a good Christian household. God damn it! Oh, all right. Is that really what you think? It doesn't matter. It's too late now to do anything about it, right? No, I feel bad. It's not too late. Why is there no option to say it's not too late? Well, this is obviously the consequence of us as Malor not convincing child Ursula. I'm sorry, Magdalene. It's alright. Well, thanks anyway. I'll see you later. Until then. Wow, we just missed out on a lot. They don't like me. She's amazing up to the moment you raise Rina to 6 stars. Then her ult one-shot most backliners. Rina or Reno? So I should strive to get Reno to 6 stars? What? Okay, I did not know that. I always thought my Reno was underperforming. I guess because I have to get Reno to 6 stars. This is the Reno I have, right? Yes, this is the Reno I have. Oh, this is the anime wiki. No wonder why they look slightly different. Ah, no wonder. She's one of those units that you gotta max them out for them to be decent. Yeah, there's a lot of that in Blue Archive as well. Well, in any gacha game, really. It's like a lot of the units don't shine until you get their maximum dupe or their maximum rarity. What I appreciate about Princess Connect at least is that you can farm most of it, and over time you can get them to 6 stars. For me, I absolutely hate systems like Genshin, where you're required to pull duplicates to get their best abilities. At least Reno, when I used to play Princess Connect, I'd always make sure to buy Reno shards, the amulet stuff in the store. Like it is part of my daily routine. I'd always buy, I think it's for either from the PvP currency or one of the currencies. I'd always make sure to buy Reno shards. I think I got her up to 4 stars. Long way to go. So I wonder how serious how serious the consequences are for this act. For the simple fact that, like, we could have gotten more history out of Ursula, but not anymore because we failed that. What does Hans want now? Oh, huh? Were we supposed to do something? Outliving everyone, ill Peter. Nah, now I'm itching to play the Princess Connect anime. Itching to watch the Princess Connect anime. You said it was from the makers of Konosuba. Is that the proper one? And I hear that's also super funny. So, and you said it's like a masterclass in anime comedy anime. So, I should line it up. I just wish we had Crunchyroll in our country. It's so hard to find access to anime here. If it's not on Netflix, it's like there's nowhere else to watch it for us. Or not, if it's not on Netflix or Amazon. Like where I'm glad at least Chainsaw Man appeared on Amazon in our region. But I think Princess Connect's on Crunchyroll, and we don't have Crunchyroll. Sad. What? Aw, are you gonna encourage your son to draw? Is this even your son? Ah, well, named after Andreas Mahler. Eh. Okay, I'm supposed to talk to Elsa about the history. Who's Anna anyway? God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Anna. How are you? Oh, keeping busy? There's always plenty to do around the house. How's the mural coming? Paul mentioned your progress is quite impressive. I didn't realize the council cared so much, especially since I wasn't the first choice. Nah, it's too bitter. I don't wanna dump that on her. I'm making steady progress. I think I'll be finished just before the new year. But that's high praise from a councilman. I'm making steady progress. I think I'll be finished just before the new year. Oh, how wonderful! I'll have to bring Andreas and Ulrich by sometime to see your progress. We won't get in your way, of course. I'm sure they'd love to learn about this process. You're all more than welcome, but watch your step. There's plaster everywhere. I've just mixed a new batch to keep the wall moist. It's hard to maintain the right texture when it's so cold out. Oh, I can imagine. I had a similar problem when I helped my mother in the bakery. Oh, okay. Her mother is the baker. Right, she does. Oh yeah, she is the grown-up version. Wow. Oh, she did grow up, obviously, duh. 18 years. Rolling dough in winter was such trouble. We had to throw out so many batches that wouldn't rise. So this was the little blonde girl we would see in the bakery, and now she's married to Paul. Your discipline is admirable, Magdalene. You know, I was a real rascal back in the day. Skipped on working with my parents more times than I can count. So it wasn't Big George who was a troublemaker? This sounds like the funnier option. Oh no! George has always been more hardworking than me. I was a thief and a scoundrel. It started with cakes from my mother's table, still hot from the oven. This is like what she did in the time skip. Soon it was silverware, mugs, trinkets. Trinkets I found around town. Ulrich's little hat once even belonged to Andreas Mahler. Oh, right. That did happen. When we were telling a story, when we gathered the women and children of the town, for one of the priest from Ethiopia, to tell a story, to break bread with the priests from Ethiopia. The women and children were there, and yes, that right. Ulrich did take Andreas Mahler's hat, and there you have it. I forgot about that. Nice, cute little detail just to remind you of Andreas Mahler. But again, I'm calling it. I feel like Andreas is the thread puller. I don't know how they're gonna explain that away, but I don't know why. They're gonna come up with some convoluted bullshit somehow. I just feel like no. I just feel like I'm gonna be so disappointed when they finally reveal, if they reveal who the thread puller is. We'll see. Ulrich's little hat once even belonged to Andreas Mahler, your father's friend. I stole it from his head, but it seemed like the kid stole it. Of course, stealing is against the Lord's commandments. Well, yeah. So my father would make me return everything if I hadn't eaten it already, and marched me to church to pray. Father Thomas grew accustomed to seeing me more often than Sunday mornings. I guess you got tired of saying Ave Marias? That was part of it. Yeah, same thing. Like centuries later, when we go to confession, when I used to go to confession, we grew up Catholic in a Catholic school. Your part of your penance would be like pray the Holy Mary like 10 times. Like do 5 Our Fathers and 10 Hail Marys. So we actually did that. So that's like you got tired of saying many Ave Marias. I grew out of the habit over time. I think I started to see why my parents had such a devotion to the Lord. Stealing was my way of acting out. But when the trouble started in town, I realized that my thieving wasn't doing any good. I decided I'd rather honor my father and mother as God commands. It gives me grace with Andreas and Ulrich on the hard days, and with the rest of the town too. Yeah. Oh yeah, Vanua, we recently continued our vampire game. It's still under the same GM. He under him we started VTM. We're using VTM 20. We started in the Byzantine era. We had some fun with it. It was very, you know, noble political intrigue. I was like a vampire knight, and then one of them was a noble. Another one was a Nosferatu. So we had like with people from different levels of society, and then we were interacting with nobles. We were charged to protect one of them, and then typical vampire drama, and then we ended up having to manage our own land. Then we took a hiatus, and the GM wanted to go back to that universe, so we kind of skipped forward centuries, and now we're in the Victorian era, and loosely connected to our characters way back when. We had the option to bring in our original characters because, vampires. But we went a different route. We created entirely new characters. And now we're Tremere. We're all of the same clan. And me being new to vampire lore, I found it quite interesting that, the Tremere were once human wizards. And because mages being mages, they found the value of the blood and the vitae, and well, they became blood sorcerers anyway. So we're at the time period where I think the Tremere are only maybe 5 to 10 years old as a clan. So or they look down upon us, and our current trajectory is going to Vienna to join this like ritual of sorts under a Gueratrix, some popular figure in the vampire mythos, to be initiated into the pyramid as the basically it's like a pyramid scheme in the Tremere. Different levels in the pyramid, the notes you're standing and stuff like that. That's what I heard. So they're gonna test our blood magic, and we're a very new clan. So it's kind of like it's newbie friendly, and I'm grateful for that. So I'm getting more background as to the different clans and stuff. And again, I much prefer older settings of vampire. I don't know why modern settings don't really click with me, but like I really enjoy the Byzantine era, and then now we're in the we're currently in the Regency period, heading to the Victorian era, and like Napoleon is coming back to France, and then stuff like that. Yeah, the Americas recently just gained their independence, so very similar to why I like the setting of Pentiment. It's an interesting time for me. I like the changes of that you see occur throughout human history. You can probably have a crossover with the Denma Mage campaign. Bit early. Yeah, because I think Denma is more modern, right? True, all vampires are sort of pyramid schemey, which kind of got frustrating at some point because they'll never pass on an opportunity to remind you that you're just neophytes or you're just newbies. It's like, oh my god, shut up. We want to try and we want to try and make things better for other kindred, or we want to just mind their own business and survive, but we can't even do that. So because our elders, our betters are always, it's typical. Yeah, I guess that's part of the appeal. But I'm grateful now that this session, our GM has deliberately went in another direction. It's very different from how Denma run things, because I'm in a mage game with Denma there. So it's definitely a bit less political. It feels like we're playing Call of Cthulhu, Horror on the Orient Express, globetrotting through different lands, working for our sire. And it's like Call of Cthulhu, but we're vampires. So I'm liking the vibe. Zen, thank you so much for that. Hello. You are no longer new here, but I appreciate the hello, Zen. Hello there. Oh, man. Yeah, I need self-care. I think there's still a lot left to this game. I don't know where we're going to finish it. We're going to try to finish it today. Because I'm ready to move on. Alright. I think I'm good. Let me redeem I know you have so many gold coins right now, but I just returned some of those coins then. And it's a mistake, but taking the rest of the gold coins for the others. Thank you so much. And welcome in, welcome back. Welcome back, and thank you for lurking. What was I going to tell her? I think Ulrich would be proud. Right, her father. Her father died in the revolt. That's more charitable than some people in Tassing deserve. Should we continue to play the bitter Magdalene who just wants to leave this town behind? I think everyone can learn from your example, Anna. Hopefully hopefully from my present one rather than my past. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure you have plenty of mural work to do. I'll see you later, Anna. God bless, Magdalene. Oh, that said, Zen, I'm gonna try to play Dead Space this weekend, so horror game is gonna scare you even more. That's lined up for the weekend. Magdalene, dear, what brings you up the hill? Dad was telling me your family's been in Tassie for hundreds of years. I wanted to ask you some questions about your family for the mural. Dad was telling me your family's been in Tassie for hundreds of years. Oh, is this for the mural? It would be a pleasure to see the Muellers featured in the Rathaus. They've been a pillar of Tassing for generations, though I'm afraid I only know a little bit about them. And much of that I've heard from others. Lenhart didn't care to talk about the past. Lenhart, what? I wonder what happened to him. Did he burn in the... They burned the windmill, right? Did he die there? No. Yeah, I think he did. I think he burned to death. I meant your family. The one you were born to. Your family was Caviezel, wasn't it? Oh. Oh? Uh-oh. Not a soul in town has asked me about my family in years. I was beginning to think my neighbors had forgotten us. Yeah, I will do it, Zen, because I have courage now. I didn't get to finish the first Dead Space because I got too scared. So now I'm going to play the remake. Horror games no longer faze us, unless it's the beast within or something scarier. I am not surprised your father remembers the Caviezels. He was sweet on my sister before he met your mother. I am the last of us. Roll credits. I'm the last of us left now. Is that the local name? What happened to your family? You say it's Caviezel, not Caviezelin? Well, I don't know what that implies, but that's part of our insightful background, so let's ask this. I have always been called Caviezel, as for my sisters and mother, and her mother before her. My grandfather told me the Caviezels have lived in this area for hundreds of years. Well, I will be glad to have you there, even if your eyes are averted, Zen. I will need all the support I can get. But, you know, it's a game you can shoot at the aliens, so... the xenomorph, so you can, like... If you can fight back, it definitely makes it less scary. Perhaps even 1,000, though it seems impossible to imagine a time so long ago. The Caviezels were pagans? Yes, the original Bavarian people. Here, even before the Romans. Ooh, good stuff. My grandfather said his grandfather told him the Caviezels resettled the town after the Romans left. Built their new home, right on the spot where they had been living when the Romans arrived. Interesting. Does that not seem unlikely to you? But that's just a story. How do you know any of it's true? What are your sources? And she's like, trust me, girl. But that's just a story. How do you know any of it is true? I heard it from my family. Do you think they would lie? Well, oral history. I didn't mean that. No. I think they could misremember or forget or, yes, lie. Why does a story need to be true? Is that like the thesis of this game? However true it may or may not be, doesn't matter, Magda. It matters that I believe it, that it connects me to my ancestors. Yeah, but if you believe in the wrong thing or a problematic thing, well, there's always an exception. When I think of the ancient Caviezel's driven from their land, only to find it again and become Christians, they feel nearer to me. Fair, fair. Do you understand? No, I don't. No, because me as a person, one of my pet peeves is being misunderstood, and that connects to, I think, the need for truth and validation. I'm not sure though, like to just outright say like this could go bad. You could really twist this way of thinking, which is why I'm kind of not really for it, because we've already seen the ramifications of, fake news and fake stories being spread. Like a different narrative, right? Especially if it's used by your oppressors. The importance of truth is so, I don't know. I mean, for Magdalene, she, of course, it's for her. She wants to be closer to her family and her history. It makes them seem closer to her, that they've actually resettled and came back, that they're there in the walls, that they're there around her in spirit. But I just have to be honest that, well, there is a time and place for this kind of embellishment, but depending on what the stakes are and depending what the stories are used for, like imagine the Romans using this kind of thinking, and they did, and the Christians as well, and the church, rewriting history, erasing the past. That is, no, I don't really understand, Magdalene. The why does a story have to be true? Because without that truth, it is susceptible to being abused. I think that's what I believe. Oh, Limbus Company's out February 27. Oh man, I hope there's a global release too, Vanoa. I should check that out. I'm really hoping there's a global release. I don't want to be the Southeast Asian region gets left out so often. And it sucks because usually like the Southeast Asia region gets less support. It's behind on the schedule. And the events sometimes even differ. Like I stopped playing Counterside when I realized the Southeast Asia version was like objectively the inferior version. So it's just bad. I see. Well, thanks for the heads up, Vanwa. That's something to look forward to at the end of February. I don't know. No, I don't. Keep your heart open to Christ, and one day you will. Will I? Thank you, Elsa. You've given me much to consider. Yeah, it's like, when do you lie? What kind of story do you tell? It's not always good to be right. Right? I am true. That is true. Like, sometimes being right makes things worse. You have to understand, like, why you want to be right. What for? What are you trying to be right for? If it's just being right for the sake of being right at the expense of other people's, let's say, mental and emotional health, I don't know. Like, how far do you protect them, though, from the truth? It's complicated. Thank you, Elsa. You have given me much to consider. Which is what this whole arc is about. This is what this whole act is about. What should we depict on the mural? I think we were going with the truth and nothing but the truth. So I think we even put in the ritual sacrifice in the mural. I think we decided on that last session. So, oh well. Uh, we're gonna go unfiltered here. Global Grand Open? Heck yeah. No, but I'm just so jaded because when they say global release, except for you, Southeast Asia, it's like, you're global, you're global, you're global, not you, Southeast Asia, you're global, you're global. I don't know why. I don't know why. Things get in the way in our region. Truth needs to come first. Hmm. Obviously, it depends on the context and what, again, when I said what's at stake. So I'm just curious, in your opinion, then, let's say, uh, the Inquisition, for example, the Inquisition here being an actual threat. Would you depict on the mural the pure, unadulterated pagan truth, which the council is worried will attract the wrong kind of attention? From dangerous people. Like, how far, like, how, like, is it necessary to put all that up into the mural? That's what the council was fighting about, right? They were telling our father, Klaus, like, Klaus, don't depict all that. If you depict the revolution, they're gonna see us as, like, sympathizers. Like, how much can you put at stake? That's why Klaus wanted to use the mural as a way to make amends for his inaction in the past. Because Klaus was, he feels like, partially responsible for the revolt. He felt like he didn't do enough. He didn't really step in because, in the guise of protecting his children and his friends, he chose to sit out, and he regrets that. Which is why he wants to go super radical now in his twilight years to paint the pure, unvarnished truth. But the council is shooting us down because they're like, no, we're gonna bring that all up again, and then the church is gonna have a fit, and then the lords are gonna be angry because it's like we're siding with the peasants, and then that's why we're fighting for the truth now. And I think we've decided as Magdalene, as players, we're gonna go with the truth that we discover. We're not gonna hide anything. But, things to consider about, like, I guess the council does have a point, but then you're just gonna go into the habit of appeasing the supposed betters. Then you're always at their whim. You'll always believe what they want you to believe. Then isn't that kind of just another form of oppression? But it's still so beautiful here, Martha. One more moment. Whoa. All right, take your time. Oh, hello, Magdalene. Dad, look who it is. Is it just me, or do they seem bigger than I am? Like, they messed up with the sprite size, like the art sizes, the asset sizes. I don't know what's going on here. Good morning, Mrs. Druckerin. Hello, Martha. Carl, how are you today? Oh no, you shall walk around town. November hasn't grown too cold yet. Dr. Stoll says Dad needs to keep using the leg or the pain will get worse. And I'm getting old. Not so old you can't sit around at home telling stories. You listen to your daughter, Carl. Eh, you young girls think you're my keeper, is that it? I've always been your keeper, Dad. No arguments for me there. You can say that it's there to describe how much we have grown. Yeah, I do like that. I do like that example. Like, you can't ignore the past. Like, to write over the past is to forget our mistakes and prevent learning from those mistakes. So I'm definitely with you on that. Like, I want to depict all that. I want to accept that in the past, there were like human sacrifices and stuff like that. It doesn't mean that we're going to repeat that again. And as you said, you could say that, we have grown out of that. So I don't know. We already decided until someone is able to convince us, we're still going for the pure, unadulterated truth that we can discover and find. Admittedly, they made it a good point. Um, the writers intentionally burned down the records of history. Like, though it may be from the lens of the church, I think you could have trusted those brothers at least to be factual in their recounting of events. So they intentionally burned down all those records because the writers wanted you as the player to grapple with these partial truths, these outright lies, these fabrications, because there is nothing complete. So it's like, how do you finish the picture if you don't know exactly what happened? So it's tough. It's like, how can you be responsible in terms of your research if all you have to go by is biased oral accounts, whereas all the supposed factual accounts, day by day, year by year, they all burn down in the fire. So that's also, I think, kind of symbolic in the sense that who burned down the place? The townspeople themselves, because of the times and how they were suffering. So they literally burned down their own history, which makes it confusing how to move forward. It's like, how do you move forward if we've already forgotten the past and who we are? So that's what I'm kind of getting from the game right now. Like, where do we go from here? It's not this case, but it's kind of close. The history of the colonized usually consists of dark pages filled with traumas, tragedies, whereas the bright episodes are appropriated by empires. Yeah, that is true. Can't shy away from that. Being in a country with a long colonial history, we can never forget that we are a product of multiple colonizers. To forget that and to claim even that there's a pure, pure-blooded one of us, I think that's also a mistake to go that route. But you also can't deny what happened. On the other hand, no, it's really this case. Old legends are not church ones. Yeah, for sure. And that's why. That's why I kind of felt iffy with the miller's wife, Elsa, when she was talking about how does the truth matter, given that the story of your family, the pagans, were appropriated by the Christians, and possibly appropriated by the Christians and revised. So that's not really the history of your people. But her point was, it makes the current version of the story makes her feel closer to them, because if she were to receive the true narrative, quote unquote, let's say the true narrative was that they did not resettle here or that they fought against the Christians and lost. For that truth to come up at this point, for Elsa, as someone who was raised as a Christian woman, as a quote unquote good Christian woman, to get that version of her family story. Like, no matter how true it is, I will admit that yes, that would be kind of unsettling for her. Like, then she would not understand her place. So, yes, she did give us much to consider. So thank you, Elsa. Because that is kind of like the white lie, the blissful ignorance. I can't agree with her thinking, but I think I can understand why she thinks that way. It's easier to believe that it's easier to believe her version of the story, that it is all happy days. They resettled and they became Christian. Happy times. Sounds like you have Martha to thank for your health. This will be remembered. I thought that's what Verna and his ghastly tools were for. And leeches! God, the leeches. Where does he even find them around here? In the forest, probably. They prefer muddy, freshwater pools. Ugh! They're horrible. Cold and wriggling, just like the doctor's fingers. Dad? Hehehe. He's the kind of man I wish Anton would have grown up to be. Oh, right, his son died. Oh. Ah, Anton, my poor boy. It's alright, Dad. You still miss your son? This sounds bad. I don't know. I'm sorry, Carl. It's not your fault, Magdalene. Just a babe, then. I can't. It's my fault that he died. Oh, no. It's not, Dad. You know it's not. You shouldn't have been with me that night. You shouldn't have... Wait, did he die during the revolt? I was a fool. What happened? I know I was there, but all I remember is the flames. We were a kid. Let them continue. The abbey was engulfed in flames. The heat, you wouldn't believe it, seared the hair off my eyebrows. I was bleeding. Anton tried to drag me out of the fight. Oh no. Then that god-forsaken Landsknecht stepped between us. I hope he burns in hell. Whoa, that Landsknecht we were talking to? He killed the kid? I can't even imagine what that was like. I still think of my mother every day. Nothing can make up for a loss like that. I pray I will see him in death. Ooh, thanks for sharing this. Opening it up. Ah, Ukrainians demand their place in art history. No one would call an artist from India British or an artist from Peru Spanish. So why do museums continue to label Ukrainian artists as Russian? This I did not know, Vanoa. Thank you for bringing this up. Why would they call Ukrainian artists Russian? What? Like, okay, Eastern Europeans visit a meeting, they are by default forced to admit that they consider native. Okay. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Thank you for sharing this article. I did not know. Yeah, like outdated spelling of Kiev, imperialistic umbrella term, Russian avant-garde. To lump everything under the Russian banner, right? When you could say like Slavic mythology is not only for Russians, for example. Interesting. Thank you for sharing this. It's the struggle and the fight of decolonization. And I'm grateful that people are more aware of it now. People are more aware of those who came before. I feel, at least in my circles, or at least I've seen it in my feeds, there are more efforts to decolonize certain narratives. Oh, come on, clicky. Click. What the heck? Dad, it's not good for you to dwell on those memories. I know. Permit an old man his weakness. How old were you during the revolt, Martha? 7 or so. I didn't understand what was happening. Someone brought Dad home in the middle of the night. It was dark, confusing. There was screaming outside. Mom and a couple of the men who brought Dad in were trying to patch up the wound, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. She kept shouting, "Where's Anton? Where's Anton?" There was blood on the floor. Damn. You cried so much you threw up. Couldn't get you to stop. I couldn't understand where Anton had gone. Dad tried to explain, but... Martha, my dear, enough of that. And then now both of them are dwelling on it. That's sad. What do you say in situations like that, right? Not even this feels enough. Like, it's always an awkward thing for me in funerals. Like, I'm sorry for your loss. Like, man, how did you go on? Did I? I don't know. Some nights I think I am there still. The abbey's always burning. My Helena passed not long after. I was left alone with Martha to care for. Wait for him to continue. I had to keep going for Martha, and somehow my daughter grew into a wonderful woman despite it all. I suppose that was all Helena's doing. Dad, if I'm any good, it's because of you. Thank you for telling me about that night, Carl, Martha. Time doesn't heal, Magdalene, but it does dull the ache. It's time we continued with the walk, Dad. Yes, dear. I'm feeling much more alive now. Be well, you two. Aww. In your case, a mortal one, as his narratives are often a matter of life and death. Like, a lot of Germans are feeling historical responsibility before Russians because World War II. Yeah, but not before Ukrainians, despite most of the combat on Western Front conducted in Ukraine. Ah. Yeah, that's where I think that's a. Correct me if am I understanding this correctly? Yeah, the Germans, they definitely. I feel like at least the ones I've met or what I hear from German culture, they're really more aware of what happened and what they did and how they're very serious about making amends or being better. And I think it really reflects in their culture. Something I can respect about that. But yeah, considering where we are in the world right now, it's unfortunate that others can't follow suit in terms of, because it's a two-way street. You know, the colonized and the colonizer. The it helps if, you know, the Germany, World War II, them taking responsibility and trying to make amends and be better. You can't just rely. The Germans can't. The victims just can't rely on themselves on both sides. You know, they can't just rely on themselves and their own strength to pull their way out of history. It really helps if both parties are able to, address it, heal, and hopefully move on. But easier said than done, of course. Hi, Mags. Sorry, I can't talk for long right now. Hi, Killian. I'm Magdalene. What's keeping you so busy? It's almost December. Preparing for the festivities is a busy time. And Dad can't do it all alone. He pretends to be strong, but I think some of it is an act. He's growing older and sadder. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I imagine he misses your mom, despite everything that she did. I don't really know how to help him. He doesn't talk about her much anymore. I think he's ashamed that she was screwing the miller. I'm not, though. She was still my mom. She killed the man, Killian. This is also another complicated one. What if your mother was accused of murdering someone and also cheated on your father with the miller? I don't know. If your parent murdered someone, I'd find it hard to not feel ashamed about that. Well, maybe, I don't know. You know what? Let's do this. She killed a man, Killian. I heard she was making a cuckold of your dad. Who told you that? About the, you know, Paul, Otts. No, his friends are gonna cause some strife. Now, it's not like it's a secret everybody knows. That's even worse. Oh, whatever. We're double going. Damn. Okay, now I feel bad. Yeah. Everyone does bad things sometimes, you know? When the monks were around, they told us all about God's forgiveness. Watchlav talks about it a lot too. So that's what I tried to do. Forgive. Okay, fair. That's how some people can move on. I find it hard to forgive. Because I still can't I still can't totally understand the forgiveness is for you. Right? It's like forgiveness is for you. It's not for the other person. But I can't really wrap my head and heart around that belief yet. They sort of become too introspective on themselves, like they can judge herself, but they are scared to imagine others doing what they did back then. Yeah. Well, imagine the generational trauma that a lot of them have to unpack, especially for some families that were tied to the atrocities of the war. To untangle yourself from that, I can't even imagine. Ah. And they can't scared to imagine others doing what they did back then. You know, the terrifying thing is that a lot of humans still can't learn from history. It's so cheesy to say, but history repeats itself. But, you know, I'm still of the fact that you gotta keep heart, you gotta keep going, or you'll spiral out of control and not being able to handle anything. So, keep the hope. But we're asking him here, Killian, what if the bad things someone does are serious? Yeah, I'm curious about his thoughts. Then I guess you just need to be even stronger, like Christ. Yeah, see, it's always difficult for me. Like in Life is Strange True Colors, and in a lot of real narratives, I am always surprised when, for example, you're a parent and someone murders your child. I've seen some stories of the parent forgiving the killer, and the killer actually showing like actual remorse and being sorry. But it's like, I cannot ever imagine forgiving the killer of my child. But I don't know. I'm also thinking like maybe in that case, you know, I've never been in a position like that. I hope I never am. But maybe then your only answer will be forgiveness to like to move on, or you're always forever holding on to that hatred, that that you know, that grudge against the killer. So I guess if you consider forgiveness as a way of not letting the killer off the hook per se, you're not giving them forgiveness. I guess you're giving yourself a means to move past what cannot be changed. I guess to forgive yourself. I don't know. It is always so shocking to me from an outsider's perspective when like let's say the victim forgives the abuser, or yeah, the parent forgives the killer of their child. It's just surprising. So yeah. That's why in Life is Strange True Colors, it brought up a lot of discussions when we streamed Life is Strange True Colors, because that did come up. It is one of the focal points of the story in terms of, are you like, will you forgive this man or continue to condemn him? And for me, I chose to condemn him, but apparently majority of people chose to forgive him. But me, I couldn't get it out of my mind that this person killed people due to his negligence and greed and pride. And it's like I could not find it in my heart in that moment to forgive him. In my head canon, I was going to possibly forgive him down the road if he shows true remorse and repentance and the desire to be better. But in the very moment that the game makes you decide, I was surprised that the huge majority chose to forgive him on the spot. Right? And this was the climax of the story. Once you find the truth of the matter, right after this person tries to murder you, and then you go all, I forgive you. Like, you shot me and I almost died, and you killed my brother and my father, and you hid up the truth and you lied to me, but I forgive you. It's like I could not understand. I could not understand. So honestly, that really like got me thinking for like weeks. It's like, is something wrong with me? Am I not understanding something about forgiveness? And I had a bunch of discussions with my friends about it, about the nature of forgiveness and how to understand it and how they mean it when they see that forgiveness is a personal thing. It's not given. I guess, and I started to look at forgiveness as that, as Killian right now is telling us. Like, you need to be stronger like Christ, in a sense that Christ forgave all our sins, right? Biblically. That is also something I had a hard time understanding, really. Like, what does it really mean to die for someone's sins, to forgive them unconditionally? It boggles the mind because it's people abuse that kind of mercy. People abuse that kind of forgiveness. That's it's in my head. The cynical part of me is like, for me, I'm giving forgiveness to someone, a killer, for example, and that killer feels better because he's forgiven. It's like I don't want that person to feel that. I feel like it's like alleviating that person's guilt by saying that your victim forgives you. You know, I mean, that's one way of thinking of forgiveness. But in the discussions I've had, they were discussing about its different natures and where they were coming from. Like, we can all agree that the killer must receive justice. There must be justice for the victim. I think that's one thing that's unconditionally everyone can agree on. But the nature of forgiveness that comes after, it's like the different ways of how people address different way of coping, I guess. Anyway, I'm still I don't regret choosing that in Life is Strange True Colors, but applying it to real life scenarios, I think I do see the merit of just being able to forgive and not hold on to all that hate. Because I still like in some real cases, I have not forgiven certain people for what they've done to me. And I'm wondering, it's been so long, it's been so many years. I don't feel like it's affecting me, but part of me can't help but think that, what if you truly forgave this person? Or perhaps I already forgave in the sense that it is for myself. You see, like, I think about that once in a while. Anyway, in case of the Germans, there was a lot of work. Like, they were forced to watch the horrible things your competitors did in theaters for food. Until that kind of work is given, nope. Like, you can forgive actively repenting person who compensated for what he did. Yeah, that's what I was thinking in that moment. Like, yo, you're gonna go to prison first, all right? Then I'll think about forgiving you. But doing so for one who didn't is just rewarding him for his actions. Yes, exactly. That is exactly what I felt in that moment, which is why I was so surprised. Like, I was the only one in chat who chose to condemn that character. Now, I think there was one other person, and we were off the same mind that he's gotta answer for his crimes first before there can be forgiveness. So there were like only two of us, but then everyone else is like, forgive him. And then when we saw the statistics at the end, as in 80%, I think, when the time we played, 80% forgave. And I was like, holy crap. Anyway, then I acknowledged it was, we had different ways of looking at forgiveness. Because everyone could say that this person does need to actively repent and compensate for his damage. That is one thing everyone agreed upon. But I think the timing in terms of the forgiveness and the focus of where that forgiveness lies, I think was a difference that sparked the discussion. Anyway, it's something interesting to think about. It also reminds me of a quest in Cyberpunk about forgiveness. Same themes about like, is this person just using it as a way to feel better? Like asking for forgiveness so to alleviate his own guilt. Like, is that really something you should give this person? And they brought in the drama, of course, of this is the murderer of their son, and the mother forgave the son, but forgave the killer, but the sister was so angry at the mom, telling the mom like, how could you forgive him? He killed your son, my brother. It's so, and there's no right answer really. Anyway, because you're not even sure if that person is bullshitting. You're not sure if the killer's bullshitting, or if he truly turned to God and if he truly wanted to help people. You know, it's tough. I don't know how Jesus did it, honestly. How's your mural coming along, by the way? One step at a time, learning about the history of tasking is a challenge, yes. At least you can read well enough to learn more about the history. That is true. I'm still struggling a bit. Just keep learning, Killian. I will. Oh, I'm sorry, Magdalene. I really have to get back to work. You will. Concept of justice on YouTube. Perhaps this will shed some light. Thanks for sharing this. I'll cue it up. Justice. Let's talk about justice. Ooh. And she's like cosplaying. Well, okay. This machine kills fascists. Okay, this is a cute thing. All right. Thanks for sharing this. 2 million views. Holy crap. ContraPoints. I think I heard about this channel before. Oh, okay. Punisher, police justice, victim blaming, and no angel. All right. Cool. Maybe this will help. I do need more perspectives onto the nature of justice, forgiveness. Thank you for sharing that. Ooh, you. Oh, Casimir's. Oh, okay. Can't talk. Why? I see. Well, why is Casimir so familiar? That's a people, right? Or is it his name? No, it's a name. I'm Casimir's musician with Alexander. I'm Magdalene Druckerin. I live here in town. Do you mind if I ask what happened to your voice? Is it a vow of silence? Rather not. Okay, fair. Maybe I should talk to Alexander. What are you two doing in Tassing? Yeah, it's such a familiar name, right? Like Casimir's. I don't know where I heard it before. Ask Alexander. Sorry. Yeah, fair. All right, I won't take up any more of your time. Like, I don't want him to write the whole history down. Alexander's just sitting there. Thanks. God bless you. God bless you, Kazimierz. Oh, wait. He has more dialogue. Hello again. Ugh, okay. Alexander. Ah, hello. Are you one of the burgers? Burgers? My man and I are in need of refreshments. Ah, right. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not a waitress. There are two burgers. Nico and Killian. I am neither of them. Or you could be in an elaborate disguise. Haha, funny. Truly, anything is possible. Exactly. The improbable is not the impossible. And through such incredulity, may the accomplished deceiver succeed. Who are these people? I am Magdalene Druckerin. Oh, it's a Ukrainian painter. Kazimir Malev. Oh, no wonder why it's so familiar. Kazimierz is an Arknights. It is a people. It's a Kazimierz people. Right? Arknights. Kazimir. Yeah, Kazimierz is a Terran country located between Colombia, Sami, Ursus, and Victoria. It's dubbed the Land of the Knights. It's where one of my favorite characters is from. The Knights. Nerl? No wonder, right? She's a Kazimierz Knight. That is why it is so familiar. Arknights. But hey, a Ukrainian painter in the article? Nice. Yeah, apparently, I did not know that. I did not know Kazimir was also a Ukrainian painter. But they also use real names like Columbia, Victoria, and then they have the real world analogs in Arknights, like Cruz. I don't know if she was in, I think she's in the, I think she should be in the anime because she's one of the early operators you get. Rabbit Girl or Kangaroo Girl. Is she a rabbit or kangaroo? I think she's a kangaroo. Kangaroo, I think, because she's from Bilton, Romy Bilton, Rom Bilton, basta something. Their version of Australia. And Victoria, of course, England, the UK, and stuff like that. Or they just taken a Slavic name. Probably that. If it is a common enough name. So for Kazimierz, I guess it's for them, it's a Slavic themed region. I'm not that familiar with them. But yeah, obviously they each region, each moving ship in Arknights has its own real world stuff. Ah, from the print shop we passed on the way into town. Let's give him too much information. Yes, I'm running it for my father while he's recovering from an injury. Terribly sorry to hear that. I hope he has a swift recovery. Thank you. Not much business for a print shop at this time of year, is there? Not for a land house. It looks like the travel has all dried up. Twitter! This really is Twitter. Our background of being up to date with the current trends. It happens every autumn. How did you wind up here? You don't look like a merchant. I've been checking my almanacs and I think winter is going to come early this year. I certainly hope your almanacs are wrong. I need to get back to Würzburg soon. I am Alexander. This is my partner, Kazimierz. We are musicians by trade, travelers by necessity. We just purchased a new instrument for Kazimierz in Padua. Their luthiers are extraordinary. Luthiers? Luthiers? We're heading back to Würzburg for the Christmas celebration. You're all in red and green too. Quite an important competition there for the Meister Singers. The weather turned rotten so quickly. The rain has been awful and the roads through. The passes have all been mud. I don't know if we'll be able to make it to the competition now. If the passes do close before we're able to move on, will they open up soon? I'm afraid not. Once the pass is snowed in, you're going to be waiting for a while. Let's be realistic. I was afraid you'd say that. James Bond villains? Oh, wow. Can't even remember their names. Alec Trevelyan. You know, back when James Bond's movies were being made, you know, Cold War stuff, right? So Russia was always the enemy. I think Russia is still the enemy in James Bond movies. Or did they move to China? I don't remember anymore which nation they chose to be an enemy. It's usually Russia, right? So yeah, you're right. The villains were like Alec Trevelyan, GoldenEye, which just released on Game Pass, by the way, and Nintendo Switch Online. Blast from the Past, GoldenEye, N64, my favorite games ever. Satellite named basically Bob and Joe. Oh yeah, it is fair. Yeah, it is based on reality after all. But to us, the names are probably, they sound dangerous and everything. But to you, it's just Bob, Joe. And that's how Hollywood portrayed it. That's why, you know, when Russia was always the enemy, like in the Cold War, and we got that via osmosis in the media, and suddenly they took on a more villainous nature. The power of mass media, honestly. I suppose I should plan for us to stay here through the winter. Sorry, Cass. It's all right. Is he saying it out loud, or is it just what we see written? Do the people here like music? Have you ever been someplace where people didn't like music? Actually, I'm curious. Have you ever been someplace where people didn't like music? It pains me to admit this, but I've certainly been places where people don't like my music. Well, with your patience and God's help, we will endeavor to find music you and your neighbors will enjoy. Are these like the inserts of the musicians of this game? I'm wondering. I look forward to hearing it. Thank you. Until then. Maybe this is like the actual musician of the game. They sometimes do that, right? They like insert the musician into the world. My God. Either I'm playing this game really slowly, or it just really takes a long time. I guess I am reading everything after all. I'm gonna get used to this. I hope like Scarlet Hollow will be interesting to watch, because that's way more text. Hello, Magdalene. What brings you to my humble inn? But to be fair, like, there's less traveling in Scarlet Hollow. Can a place named the Golden Hand be considered humble? Humility lies in the soul, not in the name. But I assume you didn't come by to exchange aphorisms. I'm on my way to the Abbey. I thought it'd be helpful to explore the ruins for the mural. Ah, Kirso. It was an impressive sight in its day. A shame you never got to see it. Lots of history to be uncovered there, no doubt. You mind yourself in that place. It would collapse any day now. I have a feeling the Threadpuller's gonna try to kill us in the ruins. Don't worry, Nico. I'll be careful. I imagine it'll be like an adventure from one of those fairy stories. Scrabbling over rubble, uncovering trinkets and mysteries. You remind me of Johanna in that. She was headstrong, fierce when she needed to be. The mural is coming along fine otherwise. The more I learn, the better it gets. Good, good. Can't say I understand much about art, but we all appreciate the work you're doing, what with your dads. Well, I won't keep you from your adventure then. Besides, I have the inn to clean. Do you have someone to help you? Oh, I don't want to take up your time. Killian will lend a hand. Johanna was good at keeping we straight. Me straight. She kept this place spotless. Well, if you don't mind me asking, how did you two meet? Oh, memories. You were so young, in Paso. It's to the east. I first saw Hannah doing laundry beside the river, just south of Niedernberg Abbey. The way the sun hit her face off the water, she sparkled. Couldn't get her out of my mind. What did you love most about her back then? How did you come to talk to her? Let him continue. She was a wit in conversation too, with a bold temperament that shone through every so often. We courted. I spoke to her father. A happy day. You miss her a lot. I do. We didn't have a plan when we were married. That we settled in Tassing was happenstance. When Killian was old enough to travel, we happened to pass through on our way to Zurich. Oh, we're on the way to Zurich. Oh, I'm gonna be able to see Zurich for the first time in my life soon. Why not stay in Paso? Why not stay in Paso? Honestly, it's less about villainy and more about doing zero research. There's a long list of very funny things in movie depictions. Yeah. I also want to mention the opposite case. Stranger Things are weirdly good in this department. I agree. Well, never forget your research. Yeah, I think it is part of responsibility of any creator. The salt trade was struggling and there was trouble brewing to the east and south. The Lithuanians had started warring with the Muscovites. There were rumors of peasant uprisings. That wasn't unusual at the time, was it? No, but it felt more threatening at the time. Too close. Besides, we were going to Zurich for trade. We hadn't decided to leave Passau yet. As there was time to spare, we visited Kiersau, and of course, the shrine of the Hand of St. Moritz. Her eyes lit up. She said God had blessed us with an opportunity. That's where they got the hand, the golden hand. The town had no inn then. We proposed a land house to the abbot, and he gladly accepted. Let him continue. Hannah and I were happy. So happy. And then she ruined it. Let him continue. And then Hannah leaped into the arms of that fucking Miller. Well. No Russians in this time period. Looking at Netflix Vikings. Yeah, no concept of Russians, really. Yeah, I do appreciate this game for being... Yeah, I'm learning things historically, right? I'm learning things. I didn't know what to do. We had Killian to look after and the land house. I loved her, so I let it happen. And Otto died? What does Otto have to do about it? it's not my place to say like you were too cowardly to stand up to her. Then Otto died. Ah, right, because we accused her of murdering Otto. Then Otto died. And Andreas fucking Mahler couldn't help but get himself involved. Well, everyone was looking to Mahler. Mahler did not want to get involved. But Otto was a friend. So that was personal. But like the past times, it's like, I'm an artist. What can I do? I never did set things straight with her. Maybe I could have saved her. Saved us. Maybe. Maybe, right? If only, ifs and buts. If I'd only had the courage. We can never know. That's not something anyone can know but God. Perhaps I'll ask him when the time comes. Can't be that far off now. But I've kept... That was pretty dark. But I've kept you too long with my talking. You have the Abbey to explore after all. I wonder if all these little dialogue we're getting, I wonder if they're going to find their way into the mural and the ending somehow. It is good talking, Nico. Thank you for sharing Johanna's story with me. You did me the favor, Magdalene. I won't forget it. Until later. Until then. In case of Stranger Things, like yes, they're actually talking right and all writing are correct too. Except for like one actor and canonically non-natives. Oh really? So they were pretty close. Huh. Who was the guy in Stranger Things again? The what's the he was endearing to people. The one who defected, right? I didn't. Oh man, I didn't catch up with Stranger Things. I think I only watched up to season 2. I only watched up to the season where the guy, the Russian who defected. Oh, come on, move. We have the last one. Horrorhound is one of the few plants that grows here. Agnes gathers chamomile here every year to prepare her cures for the coming year. So he did speak decently. That's interesting to know, because as someone who does not speak, it's like it sounded legit to us. It's always good to hear people who actually know the accent say how other people's pretend accents are. Like, for example, like people were like criticizing, for example, Leonardo DiCaprio's South African accent. Uh, and it's always that like this native reacts to this person's accent. And it's always fun seeing those things. Saint Satya Shrine. Martha especially likes to leave offerings for her. Yeah, it truly is an art. Like mimicking accents. I wish I could. Like, I am seriously considering like trying to learn more about it. If I really go all in, like if I become a game master again, it would help to have proper voice training for. I know it's not necessary. What's important is you tell a good story. But in terms of performing for an audience, standards have gone up in terms of being able to portray your NPCs well. It's a personal thing. It would be fun to be able to do many different voices, because I always thought my voice was way too monotonous and was very uninteresting to listen to. So I want to get better. I don't have any reason to go back in besides I'm too busy with the mural. Right, someone tried to kill us. Someone is gonna try to kill us. I think that's when things are gonna get exciting again. We're finally gonna go to the Abbey. I guess it says something when, yeah, I do appreciate talking to the people here in the history. It's very mellow. This act, this it's so gentle. This act. You want to get rid of your accent? Well, honestly, Vano, I had no problems with it. I again remember I really enjoyed watching your show, but yeah, if you want to do so, and also to bring to life other NPCs, yeah, it will. It is a cool thing to learn. I wonder what makes that that sound, that cluck 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 cluck. I don't know what animal or insect that is. Hmm. I should talk to Sister Gertrude since she was a Benedictine nun at Kiersau before the poor Claras arrived. She would be able to tell me all about the convent's history for the mural. Heck yeah. Sister Gertrude. So we were gonna talk to Gertrude anyway. The Hand of St. Moritz, the poor Claras take care of it now that the Benedictines are gone. Where's Gertrude? Gertrude's the one who tells Magdalene stories, so it's fitting. I do not like this prioress, but you know, that's how she grew up. Whatever happened to that? Hello, son of Mousefanger. And you also have a child. I wonder if Mousefanger was buried somewhere here. That tiny kitty is so adorable. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, sister. I have a favor to ask of you. At least to be able to turn it off. I can always get it back. Like, speaking with more accent isn't hard. I just pronounce the sounds like it's in my native and it's done. I see. Well, I am excited to hear more. I'm excited to watch more of your games if you do continue to like work with Denma or whoever streaming on stream. It's fun to watch. I'm excited for more shows. Hello, sister. I have a favor to ask of you. Of course, Magdalene. I'll help however I can. I have a book, the Historia Tassiae, and I can't read it very well. Can you help me translate it? Pillar? Am I gonna be in Pillar? I'm not sure. I know that's the one you're planning with Den Mother, right? Depends on the schedule, but I would love to be part of any games, but depends on the schedule, of course. Oh, I'm afraid my Latin isn't good enough to translate something like that. Its grammar structures are far too complex. Oh no. I'm sorry, Magdalene. So it's forever gonna remain undeciphered until after Christmas. So they intentionally did that, I think, because the Historia Tassiae would have been, I guess, it would have been the strongest account we would have. It would have been the biggest source or the strongest source we would have had for the history of Tasing. So they're deliberately keeping it away from the player. They're teasing us at this point. So we're gonna have to do it without the Historia Tassiae. I think that's what they intend, right? They don't want you to like get the actual story. There's one more thing if you don't mind. It's about the Rat House mural. Oh, do you need more paint? I believe I have enough galls stored away. A parasitic growth. Oh, right. This is when I learned about what a gall is. A parasitic growth which develops on oak trees, caused by wasps laying their eggs under the tree bark. Oak galls were traditionally harvested and distilled into iron ink used in manuscripts. Like, who was the person who thought about this parasitic growth would be a good source for ink? It's like, what? Humanity amazes me. Human ingenuity amazes me sometimes. Like, this person saw this and thought that to turn it into ink. Or it's locked by a choice to put. Oh, god damn it. You're right. But I think they had a cop out answer there. If I recall correctly, the polyglot was you know a bit of everything. So maybe it's their excuse that you're still gonna have to do this. I'm guessing. If you pull back the curtains, we're still gonna have to go through all of this because we're probably not on the level needed to decipher the Historia Tassiae. What, you may be right. Who knows? We might have had more insight into it. No, thank you, sis. No, thank you, sister. I have more than enough paint. I wanted to ask you about the history of Kearsall, actually. I'd like to include the Abbey's founding and the history of Tassing Saints to the Rathouse mural. I wrote to Reverend Matthew since he lived at the Abbey, but wanted to see the place firsthand. Ah, Brother Matthew became a reverend, did he? He was always suited to such a role. But I don't suppose that's what you came up the hill for. You're curious about the saint's history, yes? It reminds me of that nun from Sister Act, if you ever watched that movie. I don't know why I love that movie. Whoopi Goldberg, Sister Act. Yes, I was hoping you could show me around the convent and tell me about its history. The Puro Clares don't allow outsiders within the convent, even other women. Mother Francisca wouldn't like anyone coming in for such a worldly concern. Is it a worldly concern? Ugh, that old bag. Well, that makes my job difficult. Let me finish, Magdalene Druckerin. However, Mother Francisca always welcomes those who are considering joining the order. You want me to pretend to want to join the convent? If a young woman, well, she did offer us, right? She did say that you're doing unwomanly things. You must join the sisterhood. It's like, wow. If a young woman sincerely considered joining the convent, she may be allowed to enter and observe the sisters. And then what? You just say, it's not for me, bye-bye. Who knows what else she may discover while contemplating the holy life, So devious, Sister Gertrude. So devious. I have always been drawn to your veil, sister. There's something about the fashion. I wonder if this is sarcastic. Let's treat this as like kind of like, I've always been drawn to your veil, sister. There's something about the fashion. Touring the convent will take some time. Would you like to go see Mother Francisca now? No. So that's the final thing we have to do today. Okay, so we are gonna pretend to be a nun. Alright, let's poke around the ruins. Yo, what? Oh, we can't. Okay, that's the only thing left. I thought we were supposed to poke around the ruins. Oh well. Stealth mission! Yes, let's go. Not stealth mission, blending in mission. Mother Francisca, I'd like to introduce Magdalene Drakerin, the printer's daughter. Yes. God bless you, Magdalene. Father Thomas told us of your father's condition, and we pray for his recovery daily. I forgot to talk to Father Thomas. Damn it. Oh, I didn't know you heard about. Again, with who is feeding Sister Francisca all of the town's information? How are you keeping an eye on things? I didn't know you had heard about that. Though the poor Clares are separated from the secular world, we take care to know its goings on. You mean you gossip? Such is our duty to serve the Lord and the community that provides for us. Okay, that is valid. Now, what is this about? Sister Gertrude, you know our holy rules. Why bring young Mistress Druckerin to me? Forgive me, Mother. Magdalene is searching for a place in the world and is contemplating the holy life. See, Sister Gertrude is always one of my favorites. I thought observing the sisters might aid her in her spiritual search. She was encouraged by the idea. Yeah, right. Yes. Ah, so you decided to consider my offer after all. If God is calling you to the convent, I am more than willing to help you fulfill that divine cause. What brought this change on? Why are you interested in joining the poor Clarice? Uh, I'm worried that helping my father, running the shop alone, and finishing the mural are too much for me. Well, if I become a sister, I won't have to marry, which is far better than being stuck bearing kids for the rest of my life. Lie. I, uh, I had a holy vision. Saint Satya told me that I was destined for higher things. I feel like I want to lie. We don't want to join, so I think we have to lie. But I don't know why this isn't under. Like, are these choices if you're actually like legitimately considering joining the convent? Lie. I had a holy vision. Saint Satya told me that I was destined for higher things. Mistress Magdalene, would you describe this vision for me? Receiving a message from God is a grave matter. I was sitting under the oak tree by the shrine, and Satya appeared to me. I'm a terrible liar. She told me that I was called to greater things than petty art. Or how about this? Let's twist it. She told me that the mural is incomplete, and in order to finish it in a godly way, I need to learn more about Kearsaw. I wonder if this will ruin my chances. You may not have had a vision, but a particularly vivid dream. Either way, the Rat House mural, if it must be completed, ought to represent the saints' legends. Oh, okay, she's on board. Did Satya say anything else? Only that I ought to pay homage to her and to ask someone for more insight. I came straight to the convent. You were right to do so. There are many spirits who haunt dreams, and not all of them are from the Lord. I suggest you ask Father Thomas about this vision. He has the education to best aid you there. Well, we were supposed to have a look around the convent. Oh, of course. While I can't speak to the vision itself, I am happy to tell you about the poor Clarice. Sure. Oh, they really did take over the abbey. Okay. I thought they were just stuck in the okay, they took over the abbey. No wonder why. Okay. Our small convent used to be part of the larger Kearsaw double monastery, as I'm sure you've been told by Sister Gertrude. However, the poor Claras live far differently than the Benedictines that once lived here. We believe that it is not ours to produce, and live solely on the alms of the community of Tassing, as they see fit to give. Likewise, none of the sisters here own any personal property. We share this convent as a gift from the church. We believe that the Lord called us into a life of poverty and service. Does such a life appeal to you, Magdalene? I'm not entirely certain yet. I'd like to explore and look around, get a feel for the place. Magdalene, you must not have understood me. We have deliberately closed ourselves off from the world. I won't have a laywoman bothering the sisters from their duties or disturbing our rule. However, I will allow Sister Suzanne to show you our duties. Please take your time. When you have finished, please come find me and we will discuss your decision to join. Okay, tour. You gotta sell me on this. Finally. I thought she'd never finish. What? Scandalized. Truthfully, oh, now we're being honest to Suzanne. Truthfully, I'm not here to join the convent. I'm looking for references for a mural I'm painting in the Wrath House. Now that the lecture is over, I can get on with what I came here for. Are you coming? No. Well, I'm gonna take a look around. Where are we going first? The convent has many parts. Oh, she's not gonna report me. The kitchen, the aquarium, the chapter house, the yard, and the old workshop. Though no one uses that old shed anymore. I'll leave it to you to decide where to go first. Wow, she doesn't... Okay, cool. I thought she was gonna, like, report us. I've been given permission from Mother Francisca to enter the convent. Sister Suzanne will be accompanying me to answer my questions. I should explore and see what I can learn about the history of this place. So, before that, we talked to Elsa about the history of her family. She said they were displaced from their land by the Romans, but returned to the same spot as Christians after the Romans left. I think it might have been the same for many families in the centuries following Tassing's abandonment. It might be nice to commemorate the return of the local people in the mural. Yeah, I should do that. Okay, first... Oh, we can't enter the... Marguerite! God bless you, Magdalene. Pet the kitty. Is that son of Mousefanger? Probably. Mousefanger. Fanger. I don't know how to pronounce it in German. Convent kitchen. This is the kitchen. There's not anything that interesting here. Sister Marie and Sister Isabeau take care of most of the kitchen duties, but everyone pitches in when needed. I remember that under Isabeau. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, sister. How goes the cooking? As well as the Lord wills it. My old fingers fumble from time to time, but it is my privilege to prepare supper for the other sisters. Shouldn't someone else be helping you, sister? That seems excessive. That's very noble of you. Just as God gave Paul a thorn in his side, so too
did he give me the pains of age to strengthen my faith.
Wow. Well, I guess that's one way to look at it.
Such things are a blessing when compared to the pains Christ carried upon the cross.
Carried a lot. I don't believe the Lord wants us to suffer, sister. Yeah, didn't Christ die so that we don't have to suffer unnecessarily? Sounds like a lot of extra pain for nothing to me. I'll ask her then. But didn't Christ die so that we don't have to suffer unnecessarily?
In the next life, yes. But even Christ said we would face hardships while we live on this earth. I have chosen to find meaning and devotion to the Lord through my hardship.
Thank you for sharing your perspective with me, sister.
You are most welcome, child. God bless you.
Marie?
God bless you, child. Are you delivering something?
Oh, I'm considering joining the convent, so Mother Francisca graciously allowed me to visit with you. No, sister. I am learning more about the convent's history so that I can finish a mural in town.
Ah, I see. Well, this kitchen has been used for decades. Longer than I've been alive, to be sure. I enjoy preparing meals for the sisters that nourish us, but I can never bring myself to butcher the animals. Sister Isabeau has graciously taken on that task for me. We need sustenance, but I feel butchering any animals is wrong, according to the rule of St. Francis.
What is it? The Rule of St. Benedict of Nursia is a book of instructions for monks living together under the guidance of an abbot. Written in the 6th century, the rule provides the principles for living a monastic life. I guess so it's wrong according to the rule. Oh, and as a refresher, St. Francis of Assisi is a mystic, friar, and friar and founder of the Franciscan order. Born in Assisi, we see him a lot in our country. Born in Assisi to wealthy parents, St. Francis was called to a life of poverty and preaching. With his follower, St. Clare, he helped found the Order of Poor Clares. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, thanks for that self-care, Zen. We've been reading a lot. It's like we're reading a book here. Yeah, I've been slouching because this microphone is too low. There we go. Proper posture. Oh my god. Oh wow. Hope it's good. Thank you for that care package, Zen. Hope you've been doing well. If you're gaming, have fun. No, thank you. I don't know what I'd do without those care packages. Long-term health benefits. Well, we read the novel. That's true. We need sustenance. Okay, Clarence. To cause suffering to any living creature is unnecessary and evil, even if God granted Adam and Eve dominion over the animals. And not to mention that there were a lot of animal sacrifices in the Bible, I guess. And they did live as, well, they did eat meat and everything, I think, right? Like also, yeah, Jesus fed fish to people. The kitchen seems fairly simple. Is there anything here from the convent's founding days?
No more than the structure itself, I'm afraid. Cookware needs replacing over the years. Though, some nights, a ghost appears to me by the cook fire. A lost spirit trapped between heaven and hell.
It's probably the thread puller or the killer or a pawn, because we know that grate on the lower left of the screen right now, that leads to the aqueducts. It is all connected. You can reach anywhere in
Tassing, or at least this town, through the aqueducts. So this ghost is an actual person. Ah, yeah, you were talking about the kinetic visual novel, right? Yeah, this one has choices. So, when your genres and your categories, so visual, this would be a visual novel, right? A VN. Or maybe since we have so much control over running around, maybe it's also like an RPG. Of course, blend of genres. But to me, it feels more like a visual novel. But the fact that we can move around and we prompt NPCs, uh, it's kind of like a point and click adventure to me. Sister Marie, not this again. Not to Magdalene, please. Please do tell. That might be the killer. Could it have been a ghost of one of the sisters from the founding of the convent? That's ridiculous. Ghosts aren't real. What made you think you saw a spirit, sister? A trick of the light. Moonlight must have gotten caught in smoke from the fire, and you thought you saw an apparition. Upon my vows, I swear I saw a figure rise through the ground at vigils. Yeah, the aqueducts. Murderer. Thread puller. I was so frightened, I fell prostrate and prayed to the Lord to save me. Dawn and dusk are the hours when the boundaries between this world and the spiritual world are weakest. We may be the newest arrivals here, but this convent is very old. Perhaps there was something Roman underneath this foundation centuries before. Well, there's literally the aqueducts underneath you. The spirit may seek to know the presence of God now that it rests on holy ground. A spirit in Kearsaw. Why would it come to the convent, though? A Roman spirit might be a great addition to the mural. I don't know that the council would approve, though. I really think it must have been something else, sister. Now, the thing is, Magdalene doesn't know any of this. And again, they killed off Andreas Mahler too soon. That's why I'm suspecting he's involved in the grand scheme of things somehow. Maybe they're gonna make a convoluted reason why he's the thread puller or the killer or whatever. But only Andreas knows about that. So, a spirit in Kearsaw? Why would it come to the convent, though? It breaks my heart to think the spirit was crying out for help, trapped beyond heaven's reach. Why don't we keep going, Magdalene? It's better not to get Sister Marie too upset. But she saw the killer. Of course. God bless you, sister. God bless you, child. Welp. Kitty! Where do we go next? L'aquarium. Chapel, why not? Have we even been here before? No, this is new. Does anyone speak Latin? Anno mortis imperatoris Federici secundi castrum domini Cirso igne predabatum solaturis mansen. Hey, it's Gertrude. This is the chapel where we all gather for mass and liturgy. It's the oldest part of the convent. And the most drafty. Hello again, Sister Gertrude. The sisters have done some minor retouches over the years, but it has represented the abbey from its earliest days. Oh, there's the tower and the library. The cloister is still being constructed here. Yes, the tower was a Bergfried long before the structure became a monastery. A what? A freestanding defensive tower, not built for permanent habitation. Oh. The duchy gifted it to the Benedictine order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. They had no use for it as a keep. See, I'm wondering if this is the history, the true history. Like, did Kiersau Abbey really exist? I don't know. I'll have to check what's fact and what's fiction here. This sounds real. The duchy gifted it to the Benedictine order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. They had no use for it as a keep. These walls have protected Tassing from attacks of spirit and steel for generations. There's some Latin here too, but I can't read it very well. Please do translate. God called Lady Sabine to lead our sisters and brothers in 1261. Oh, the name Sabine. Satine, never mind. Lord Kirsau's castle was destroyed by fire in the year of the death of Emperor Frederick II. Only the tower remained. Oh, well, that's history lesson for you. Thank you, Sister Susan. Yes, the first lists the Abbey's founding date. Oh. The Lady Kirsau was actually the one to suggest the old castle be turned into a double monastery. We added the second shortly. We added the second shortly after the revolt. Mother Illuminata thought it would be fitting, even if the sisters would not hear, some record of what occurred would remain. Hmm. So at least she left some history behind. Kiso is unique. A double monastery with two saints, one male and one female, to guard the town and abbey. Oh, right. I didn't realize that. If you put it that way, yeah. There were two saints. Saint Satya, Saint Moritz. One male, one female. Guard the town and the abbey. And again, the mix of the double belief, the paganistic beliefs, the Romans coming in, Catholic Church coming in. There's a lot. So the foundation of the abbey was even older than the Holy Roman Empire? It seems odd that a monastery would reuse a place meant for war and force. I think it's quite poetic to convert something used for war and force into a place of peace, enlightenment, and learning, right? Fascinating to think that even before the Duke gifted it to the church, the fortification was founded by Saint Moritz. But Saint Moritz was just made up, right? Or no, Saint Moritz was deified by, not what's the word for it, turned into a saint by the church. But he was a Roman, right? Anyway, so the foundation of the abbey was even older than the Holy Roman Empire. Many things have been built and torn down on this land over generations. Who knows what else used to be here? You were right, sister. This mural will be a great reference for the Rathaus. Then I'm glad to have helped. God bless you, Magdalene. Yay. Here's the aquarium. Most of the Abbey's visitors come in here, but aren't allowed to enter. We aren't all allowed to go into the outside world either. Like Mother Francisca said, isolation is a part of our vows. Sister Gertrude once told me the old Benedictine sisters used to go out into town sometimes and even talk to men on occasion. Well, I'll have a story for you. And I'm stuck here, staring at these walls for the rest of my life. You don't sound very happy. Uh, Are you unhappy here, Sister Suzanne? You didn't always want to be a poor Clarice? Poor Claire? Did you regret your choice? It doesn't seem like Sister Suzanne thinks much of her life here. It must seem like a boring life to her. Even so, she doesn't seem to have the passion that Sister Gertrude and the others have. She must have chosen to stay here for some reason. Maybe I should encourage her in her vocation. Or, if she hates her life here so much, maybe I should encourage her to leave the order. Better to leave while she has a future ahead of her. After all, there are plenty of young men in Bavaria who would make good husbands. Still, there may be some reason she chose to stay. I don't want to overstep my bounds. I think, yeah, we want to know her story. You didn't always want to be a poor Clara's sister? No! Who would want to be a nun? She reminds me of another nun, one of the Benedictine nuns. Oh no, same story. My father promised me to the church as a baby. Some oath he swore when my mother struggled in her pregnancy. Sounds like The Witcher. It's how they get the nun. That's how they get the Witchers. It's like in exchange for this, something like your firstborn, something you have but don't expect. So there I was, dropped into the poor Claras the summer I turned 17. 17? They turned you over at 17? Holy crap. And they took you in just like that. Nobody asked what you wanted? Why should they? The poor Claras rely on the offerings of others, even their children, to subsist. My family is devoted to the church. I've only been in the convent for 2 years, but I'm trying my best. I don't mind the prayers or the hours, and I'm sure of my devotion to the Lord, but this isn't what I wanted. No wonder why she didn't like report us immediately to the abbess. But since when did a woman ever get what she wanted without being punished? Eve couldn't even manage it. Ooh. We can only do the best we can. I pray that one day it'll be different. I understand. I have more autonomy to go where I want, but I'm still bound by the expectations of marriage and homemaking. I remember the days of running around town. I wish I could have gotten married. I wanted to be a mother. Sometimes I get jealous of Gertrude and even Sister Marguerite. When do they decide for you if you have to stay inside? At least they got to see something of the outside world before they were 20. Oh, okay. Oh, hey, you're protected here from the plague and the Protestant rebels. It's a good life. No. Why don't you leave? I think you're lucky you don't have to deal with boys. If you could do anything else, what would it be? Don't forget Matilda and Watchlav. They used to be part of Kearsaw too. Well, let's not rub it in. But yeah, let's ask, if no one asked her what she wanted, let's ask her if you could do anything else. What would it be? This will be remembered. Oh, I would have liked to go to one of the big cities at least once. I would have been happy just to be a shopkeeper's wife. Thanks for listening, Magdalene. Anyway, let me show you the rest of the cloister. Lead on. Damn. So this is the opposite side of the. We've seen the other side of this, I think. Wait, no, that's different. Okay, we've been to the chapel, the cloister, courtyard's next, and that's the last thing. Pet, son of Mouse Fanger. Oh, it's colder today. There's not much in the yard that could help you, I think. Anything that was here has long been covered in weeds. All I know about this place is that the walls were added when the convent was built onto the monastery. Oh, God bless you, Sister Benedicta. Sister Susan, God bless you. Ugh, this ice is hard. Do I recognize you, Sister Benedicta? I think I've seen you in town once or twice. Yes, you'd have seen her. Sister Benedicta is the youngest of the sisters. Mother Francisca allows only one sister to deal with the townsfolk. Benedicta received this privilege. Oh, so Benedicta is the source of information. Burden, more like. I have to run around everywhere, gathering all the food and doing all the chores. I'd rather be inside, where it's warm. What are you doing up in the convent anyway? Snooping. I want to just say this. I'm considering joining the Poor Claras actually now. Mother Francisca said I could look around. Let's choose this. It's fun. Snooping. Oh, don't let me get in the way then. Ah, what an adventure. Ugh, these sisters. Actually, Sister Benedicta, I wanted to ask you some questions. Do you like being a nun? Well, oh yes, I don't mind it at all. It's far quieter than home, and I don't have to share my bed with my siblings anymore. I like to help the older sisters, and I don't mind the chores, except when it's cold like this. One more question, Sister Benedicta. Have you seen any mysterious figures or ghosts lately? Ghosts? No. Everything has been normal recently. I haven't noticed anything odd. Is this about Sister Marie's ghost? I think it's Mauritius myself. Who's Mauritius? Oh no. Oh, so there is a ghost in the Abbey? Oh, well, I haven't seen anything myself, but if there is a ghost, I like to think it's Mauritius. Don't tell Mother Francisca this, but I found an old book about Christian legends hidden in the workshop. It said that a Roman commander named Mauritius conquered Tassing, but the colony failed. Most of the town was empty until Christian refugees found the town hidden in the valley. It is a miracle. I wonder if this is a different retelling of Saint Moritz saving Tassing. Oh, maybe. I don't remember if the book mentioned any saints. The Latin was hard to read. Anyway, when Sister Marie said she saw a ghost, I thought it must be Mauritius, trying to get us out. A Roman ghost couldn't be happy about his tower being turned into an abbey, could he? What did you do with this book, sister? Oh, well. I had it with me in the kitchen one day and I accidentally laid the fire poker on it. Damn it! They keep burning away texts. Again with the fire and the burned texts and the loss of history and identity. Damn it, game. Stare in shock and horror. Sister Benedicta! I tried to fix it, but it's unreadable now. Oh no, we got... Why does it do that? Why does it do that?